Hi, welcome back to episode 292 of the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast.
It's your friendly neighborhood hockey-loving goofballs. Welcome to the Gong Show.
What up? Hey, Phil.
What's going on?
It's another day. I'm living the dream.
Stop it. I can't stand it when people say that. Living the dream, bud. I'm like, oh, okay.
Living the dream. Living the dream. You living the dream, Louis?
No. This is straight reality, brother.
Riveting.
Appreciate your honesty, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here we are. Another Monday morning on the
Big
Gong
one.
Show. Yep. Anything exciting happened in your lives this weekend that we need to share?
No, not much. I was Sunday is like my podcast day, and I was really excited for a podcast I've been waiting for from the former antiquities minister from Egypt, Dr. Hawaz. And yeah, the podcast didn't go well. He's been like the gatekeeper for Egyptian relics and discoveries for like 40 years. So I was kind of hoping in his older age he'd be a little more loose, I guess, but just shows you the power how one man can stop progress. I like pyramids and archaeology, and yeah, Salima Ikram's one of my favorite archaeologists, Egyptologists, and he was really mean to her. So I was looking forward to a podcast, and it fell flat on its face, so I turned it off. That was my Sunday.
Is that the guy who was on Rogan recently?
Yes, he's on Rogan. Yeah, I think he's doing the tour.
He was kind of pissy at Joe. He was yelling at him.
Yeah, so he's very familiar. Any documentary since we've been a little kid, anything about Egypt, absolutely anything to do with any pyramid or Egyptian type of thing, you recognize his face, Dr. Zahi Hawaz. You know his face. If you're listening, Google him. He's the face of archaeology in Egypt, and I just thought as he got older, he'd be a little more loose. Like, he's not open to anything. He has all his doors are closed. His way or the highway. It's just frustrating, Anyways, that's been my Sunday. But it's Monday.
Like an Egyptian.
Yeah, there you go. You could take that road too. Nice and simple.
What is Sunday? Wow.
So we have Egypt disappointment. What about you, Louis?
I will be watching the F1 race in Imola, Italy after this recording.
Oh,
he's a cultured man.
You're a cultured man.
Let's
you are.
go, boys.
Drive fast.
I know who won, but I won't spoil it.
Thank you.
Yeah, here we go. All right, Phil. You had another great episode that I very much enjoyed on Friday night with Friday Nights with Phil. For anyone that hasn't seen it, why don't you fill us in?
Phil.
So Friday Nights with Phil is on Friday nights on YouTube at 9 p.m. Oh, Louis, your background looks really nice.
Thanks.
The blue? I want my background to do that. Mine's limpy. Okay, anyways.
Something different until I can get a wall.
Friday was awesome. Dave's commitment is unparalleled. He's in Hawaii again, and he did the show again. And Rebecca let him, who's his wife, again. She's phenomenal. Dave told us a great story where he was driving and he saw a hobby shop while he was driving, and he looked at Rebecca, his wife, and they without speaking any words, they knew he had to go in. So he did, and he bought a box of Allure and he opened it. He didn't get much. I didn't get much on my box of metal, but out of the box, donated another box to a beautiful winner who lives in Canada. Thank you. Saving me in the wallet. We had an amazing guest, Michael Postorino, and his family was watching by extension. And he told us to watch the language, and I did say SHIT only once, so I think I did pretty good.
That was my favorite part. Like, he's on, I don't even think he said hello, and he had to remind you to be not inappropriate.
First thing out of his mouth. My kids are watching, and my wife is probably watching too. So if we could watch the language, that'd be great.
I think he said my daughters are watching and my wife. So yeah, that added a little of stress, a little bit, but good stress. Being a gentleman is very excellent.
Yes.
So we're getting a real nice group every week, man. I don't know how else to say that. We're getting a solid 80 to 100 people listening, watching, which is crazy. I feel so flattered, and I'm full of gratitude for that, because that's all I'm doing kind of anyways. And yes, I talk to myself constantly. So it just happens to be on camera and a microphone. Dave is just an absolute beauty. It's been quite a few years now. We've all gotten to know each other. So getting to know one of my best friends more and more every Friday helps. And sit tight, boys. Next week looks like we're gonna have a big guest. I'm trying. Toronto Mega Collector on Instagram. If you know him, if you're on Instagram, he's got some of the biggest cards in the hobby. Yes, the word Toronto is in the name, but that's okay. I can put my allegiances aside, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some big bangers, and I hope we can make that happen.
Is he the one that just completed the big patch?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think he did.
I'm also trying to get the Gold Outburst kid. There's 2 kids I know.
Mhm.
I know you're not kids, but you're kids to me, okay? And people call me sir. If you're in your 20s, you're a kid. They both collect the Gold Outburst, so I'm trying to get kind of the one who's in the lead, but he keeps moving the goalposts on me. So come on, buddy. I know you're listening. Come on Friday nights. He's nervous. I get it. He's getting a lot more hate than he is love, which is very unfortunate. So he's pulling in. He's turtling a bit more. I think we should be building this kid up and embracing his journey because he's got the balls to do it. And if he's got the bankroll to do it, well, work harder, make more money. I don't know. Have less kids. Who knows?
Can we get video evidence of the person that calls you sir? Because I'm not sure.
It's usually in line at some establishment. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, good recap, Phil. Can't wait for the next episode. We got to mention GP Sports, the official breaking partner of the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast. Don't forget to snatch up those spots at gpsportscards.com. They go very fast. Grant and crew normally break Wednesday mornings on Whatnot, then Wednesday evenings and Fridays on YouTube. They do crazy mixers, all types of breaking formats, some I've never even heard of, and I just pretend to know what they are. So every flavor of break you want, believe me, they have. They'll also include their amazing buyback products in their breaks too. And then we're planning to have Grant back on the show in maybe this week, if not next week. He has some updates on some of the crazy shield chasing that's going on with Ultimate just coming out, and they do bounties over there at GP Sports. So very intrigued to learn a little bit more about this whole shield business that we got started really with your guy from the EPAC cult that you're in, Phil.
It's not the Ultimate. Listen, Ultimate's been a bigger cult than EPAC for a longer time. Yeah, they have first mover advantage.
Okay. Very briefly on the checklist site, 24-25 extended series is now up on hockeychecklist.com. We're seeing record traffic to the site, so that's great. And working on getting a bunch of 1970s checklists up this week too. So yeah, go check out extended series.
That's what the hobby's waiting for. 1976 O-Pee-Chee and tops.
Yeah, hey, gotta cover your bases.
I know it's important. I'm just being a jerk. I know it's important. I know it's important.
Apologize to the hobby, please.
I'm sorry, hobby, for patronizing you.
And then lastly, we got a really good show today. I'm very excited to get into. We've all worked hard to prepare. And so just a reminder that our show, the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast, is a Patreon podcast. And what that means is that we really rely on the support of listeners and watchers, the good listener, the good watcher, like yourself, to help us cover our expenses. Yeah, believe it or not, this costs money. Produce more and what we hope to be better hockey card content, and then fund initiatives in a small way to grow the hockey hobby. It's very easy to support us. You can join our $2.99 support level tier. It starts as little as $5 a month. You also get access to the funnest, hippest, lonely men's club on earth, the Hockey Cards Gongshow Discord server, where, again, just a fantastic community that grows every week and only sees more and more engagement, I guess is the word for it. It's very easy to support us. Just go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, click on the Become a Patron link at the top of the page, or go to Patreon directly, patreon.com, and search for Hockey Cards Gongshow. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link in the description. If you're listening, there's a link in the description on all the podcast apps as well, and then our Instagram and TikTok profile. Baba Louie, we have one new member, one new friend to the community, already in Discord. Let's shout him out.
Cracking some cards. Welcome.
Some cards. Baba Louie on mute.
Sorry.
Thank you for getting me, gentlemen. Yeah.
No. We're just letting you
I thought
right off that plank.
What was funny about that though is I didn't realize I was, because when I said it, I said cracking some cards. And then
Yeah, you
Phil
look
said
very
it-
animated and expressive.
You look
I was-
excited.
said
Yeah.
it the same way. So I'm like, yeah, that was cool. I did good. And then, yeah, you blew me up.
Cracking some cards. Thank you for joining the Auto 299. All right. Now that you're off mute, are you ready
Yeah.
for the game plan?
I'm always ready with the game plan, but I'm never always off mute. So today, we'll start with get to know your Hall of Famers. Then we're going to go off into who's hot in the struggle bus. It's week 3 of the playoffs. Then it's some hobby news. Then we will do a top 5 new cards of 2025 so far. Then it's new product releases, the Gongshow Mailbag, and wrap up with some personal pickups.
Thank you, Baba Louie. Let's get this Gong Show started with our Get to Know Your Hall of Famers series, where we're profiling every single Hockey Hall of Fame player. We started with the very first class in 1945 and have been joyfully and methodically working our way to present day. For each player, we look at their life, career, and hobby market. We're still making our way through the class of 1961 that had 11 total players elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame. And today we're going to learn more about Milt Schmidt. Milt Schmidt.
Oh, nice.
Milt Schmidt.
You know him, Phil? Good friend?
What? Lifelong Boston guy, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Date his cousin?
No, I wasn't born then.
Okay. That's good. I just got thrown off by our internal chat system. Thank you for that, Baba Louie. That's very beautiful.
Yeah, no problem.
And appreciate your contribution. Okay. Milt Schmidt. Milton Conrad Schmidt was I did it.
You said okay.
I said
All
okay.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I didn't do it at the beginning when I was like really focused and thinking on this. One of my personal pet peeves is I always say okay. I'm trying to
Okay.
stop saying okay.
Okay.
Milton Conrad Schmidt was a Canadian hockey player that lived from 1918 until 2017, living until 98 years old, which is amazing.
Wow.
Born in Kitchener, Canada, passed away in Massachusetts. He played center and played the entirety, as Phil mentioned, of his career for the Boston Bruins in 2 stints from 1936 to 1942 and then 1945 to 1955. He most honorably took a 3-season break in the middle of his career to serve in the Canadian military during World War II, and we'll get more on that in a minute. In total, Milt would serve the Boston Bruins franchise for more than 80 years
Wow.
as a player, coach, general manager, and ambassador. He won 2 Stanley Cups as a player at the Bruins and 2 as the general manager. He was the first person to win the Stanley Cup as a player and GM with the same franchise. And only Serge Savard with the Canadiens and Joe Sakic with the Avalanche have done it since.
Attaboy Milt.
There you go. He was the NHL scoring champion in 1940, won the Hart Trophy in 1951, a 3-time NHL first-team All-Star, a 1-time NHL second-team All-Star, and Schmidt was the last active NHL player who played in the 1930s. His number 15 has been retired by the Boston Bruins, and Schmidt was named to the 100 greatest NHL players in history list in 2017.
Wow.
So
I didn't know
why
he was
should
that
you?
good. Did you know he was that good? I didn't know he was that good. It's got it. Listen, his loyalty to Boston's got to stand for something.
Oh yeah,
Right. Like if he was on 4 other hockey teams, I don't know, it'd be a different vibe to him, right? Yeah.
Maybe. Why should you care about Milt Schmidt? Milt Schmidt was part of the famed Kraut line that had himself at center, Bobby Bauer at right wing, and Woody Dumart at left wing. They formed one of the most dominant forward lines in NHL history during their era. All 3 players were of German descent and grew up in Kitchener, Ontario, formerly named Berlin, Ontario.
The Schnitzel line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The term Kraut was slang for Germans, especially during wartime, originally not used pejoratively in this context. The name was widely used by the media and fans until it became controversial during World War II. So, see, we even had language issues in going back to World War II.
Where this Marcus Aurelius's book Meditations is, you can read that and be like, "That's me. That's me." We have had the same thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
Marcus
So during
Aurelius.
the war, the kind of media changed the name of the line to the Kitchener Kids.
Yeah.
In the 1939-40 season, now this is incredible. They finished first, second, and third in NHL scoring. The
Wow.
only time a line has done this in league history. So Milt Schmidt had 52 points, Woody Dumart 43, and Bobby Bauer 43.
That's
In
crazy.
February of 1942, the entire Kraut line enlisted in the Royal Canadian Air Force to fight in World War II. Hence Schmidt's 3-year hiatus in his playing career. In their final game before deployment, the three combined for 11 points in an 8-1 victory over Montreal. Players from both teams hoisted them off the ice to the sound of Auld Lang Syne, and Schmidt later called it the greatest thrill of my life.
Hold on.
Pretty-
Players from both teams hoisted them up.
Yeah, and they had a standing ovation, and everybody knew that all three, the greatest line in the league, were leaving at the exact same time to enlist in the Canadian Air Force to go over
Okay,
for the
fair
war.
enough. Yeah. When you put it all together, okay, that makes sense.
In one matchup against the Montreal Canadiens, Doug Harvey, a younger Schmidt, warned Bruins against Doug Harvey. A younger Schmidt warned the Bruins coach Art Ross that Harvey was running at him. Ross reportedly told them, well, then hit him first. Schmidt responded by laying out Harvey with a clean but powerful hit, showing he was tough as he was skilled. And for those not familiar, Doug Harvey is kind of the Bobby Orr before Bobby Orr.
Yeah, that's not very nice, Milt. We love Doug Harvey. Great friend of the show.
Schmidt was known as a thinking man's player, using anticipation, positioning, and strategy more than brute force. He was a true two-way center, respected for defense as much as offense, rare for that era of the game. Okay, let's look at Milt Schmidt's hobby market. His rookie card is, I think, technically considered the 1940-41 O-Pee-Chee V301-2. I have a hard time with these because, to me, this is more of a photo. It's a 5x7.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I really think of this as a hockey card, even though it is O-Pee-Chee. I don't know. I'm sure it technically is, but I have a hard time wrapping my head around that.
Last sale, 7,800 America bucks. That's wild.
Yeah.
Woo! Big bucks.
He does have a card in the 1941 51 Parkhurst set. The PSA 9 is a high selling copy. So for $3,000 US in August of 2022. I really like the 52 Parkhurst Milt Schmidt. Again, a PSA 9. It sold for $1,038 US in March 2020. I just think that's a nice looking card.
I like the British flags in the background there. I'm assuming that's what that is.
Yeah.
That's nice. You don't like the 51's nice, man. I like it.
Oh, I do too. I just really like the 52. The most valuable, though, Milt Schmidt card appears to be the 1954 Topps, which is the first year of Topps hockey. This PSA 8 sold for $7,902 US in December 2008, which is the highest selling copy. Again, I think this is a great looking card. And if you look like in Card Ladder sales history at the highest selling Milt Schmidt cards, the top, I want to say 8 of the top 10 are this card.
Yeah, the 54 top set is that's when hockey cards started to me. Like that's a hockey card, man. It pops. Look at the colors. They obviously used great ink, you know.
Oh my gosh. It's an amazing card.
Beautiful.
Because Milt's career was a little bit later, there's a number of other playing days cards that you can go find if you're interested. So have fun. Go do that. And that, boys, is your Hockey Hall of Famer, Milt Schmidt.
Good job, Joshy Poo.
What a guy.
What a guy.
That Milt is a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
that's I don't know.
You're doing a lot better than me, Phil. I hadn't heard of him either.
No.
I'll be honest, I'm not super huge on a lot of the older players unless they were like super famous.
I read a lot of books when I was a kid. To keep me quiet, my parents would buy me old history hockey books, and I would just read them over and over and over. I forgot 95% of them, but it's in there somewhere.
Sure.
I think one point you could make about his accomplishments too is, remember, he took 3 years during the prime of his career away from the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so what would he have accomplished then to even add
Well,
more?
better than anything in that. Yeah, fighting for the world is better than any hockey game or any goal you popped in. But what a life, right? Forget hockey career. What a beautiful life he's had. And I like to see. It's nice to see the evolution of this, because now we're still in old vintage type players, but the blue line is established, or the red line is established.
Sure.
There's defensemen, there's offside. The game of hockey, we've gone through that progression, and it's nice to see that maybe some of these old farts aren't that old now that we're doing it every podcast.
Right.
The game was generally played indoors, which like
that's a big one with heat.
With heat.
Yeah. Did they heat the buildings, or the amount of people probably just kept the heat in there? I don't know. I'll stop talking before I seem foolish.
We'll move on to who's hot in the struggle bus. As we get deeper into the 24-25 playoffs, the stakes just get higher, boys. Games get more intense, and the pressure ratchets up for our favorite players. So let's check in to see who's rising to the occasion and who's wilting into their seats on the struggle bus. Here's who made this week's Who's Hot list. Pulled at my heartstrings, but I had to go with Mark Scheifele. I originally had Connor McDavid for Who's Hot, and I wrote the whole thing out and did all my research. And something was nagging at me the whole time.
That they got to the conference final, that wasn't good enough for you to pick them?
No, that wasn't it.
No.
It said I put him on Who's Hot 2 weeks ago, and I had no clue. Even when I went back to the notes and looked at it, I'm like, gosh, I really did Connor McDavid 2 weeks ago. That's not a good sign for my brain functioning, I don't think. But so it was an easy choice, though, to put Mark Scheifele on. It's not often where we pick a guy that just got eliminated from the playoffs to headliner Who's Hot list, but much respect, of course, to Mark Scheifele for how he composed himself and played in the Jets elimination game on Saturday night, just hours after the unexpected passing of his father. He scored Winnipeg's lone goal in the game, which was a great moment. And yes, he did take the tripping penalty going into overtime, but wild legend Sam Steele was on the breakaway, Louis, so there was really not much he could do.
Wild legend.
Yep. He's right up there.
You guys are so bitter, just like me. I love it.
I do want to mention, too, like, I don't think that there's a right or wrong way to deal with the news of someone very close to you, like a parent passing. And I also don't think Scheifele's more of a man because he played last night than if he chose not to. But it was just nice to see him, I guess, honor his father in that way with an obvious heavy heart. And it was also awesome to see everybody kind of rally around him, and a good reminder of how the league and game is really a community of like-minded people. I don't know whoever saw after the game the handshake line. Every player in Dallas was hugging him up and kind of helping him, get through that. And
there's nothing, there's no right or wrong with death, right? You can cry if you don't feel like crying and you force yourself to cry. That's kind of weird, right? Like there's no book on it, So I think Scheifele did what worked best for him. And I'll throw a different spin on it. If I die tomorrow, I still want Hasselhoff to do the thing. I want him to, life doesn't stop because there's death, right? So Scheifele's dad would be like, son, go play a game and score me a goal. And, maybe he did just that. So
I'm sure it was really after the game it hit him anyways. When the game's a distraction and then there's not that distraction anymore. And the season's really over for them at that point too. So
do you think he'll remember? He won't remember the game. Ask him in a year from now if he'll remember the game. He won't remember
Probably
the game.
Not.
Right.
And while the playoffs ended in disappointment, of course, for the Jets, Scheifele had a pretty good postseason run overall. 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points in 11 games played. That's coming off his best NHL season in his 12-year career, where he had 39 goals, 48 assists for 87 points, and played all 82 games. It's pretty nice. There's a lot of good seasons there in Winnipeg this year.
Right.
Mark Scheifele is a 2011 Young Guns PSA 10 pop 292, 59% gem rate. Last sold for $114 on May 15th. Up 27% over the past month, up 18% over the past 2 months. 52-week low, $59. 52-week high, $152. So Mark Scheifele.
Wow.
He's been around for a while, eh? Holy crap, man.
He's just 31 though.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's wild. Well, he was big blue chip prospect. I mean, and I love this playing with Winnipeg his whole career. Phenomenal. Just
that's awesome.
Imagine Imagine the outcome was a little different for Winnipeg. I mean, there's still guys. Next year's going to be great, and year after that. What a community. I've never been to Winnipeg, but just the vibes. I mean, what a tight community. They're in the middle of Canada, kind of like a underdog story continuously. Their franchise was gone, then it came back, and if you're Canadian and you're not always rooting for the Jets, I don't know, something's wrong with you. You're probably a Leaf fan or something, but that to me would be Canada's team in a weird way.
I agree. Yeah,
well, you're
I mean,
American, so your opinions don't
they're
matter,
kind of a
but-
rival for us, though. You have to remember that.
Yeah.
We even told that like they travel very well to Minnesota. So if you go to a home game against the Jazz, a lot of white shirts.
Yeah.
And they're rowdy and
Well,
maybe I'll
have to go to a Wild game and put on my Jets t-shirt.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Represent my country.
We don't know you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Louis.
Go. This guy.
Wow.
Seth Jarvis. So on a tear at just 23 years old, gentlemen. He has now, I believe, emerged as the cornerstone for these Carolina Hurricanes for this playoff season. I think it's going to ride on him. He's been the dynamic play guy with, clutch finishes and has been the fun term instrumental in sending those Hurricanes off to the Eastern Conference Final, which I didn't want just because, like we all say, kind of boring to watch them. But they did say that they're happy to be the boring team.
So if he's instrumental, what instrument is he playing?
Right now he's about ready to hit the little, I don't know, a cymbal, the hand cymbal guy.
Oh, he's not the triangle. I think Phil played the triangle in the school band.
No, it was a trumpet. I played the
really?
trumpet. Yeah, it was really good. I found it quite. Musical instruments do not come naturally to me, but the trumpet I could crank out a horn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Louis played the flute, but only at home.
Yeah. I really, because I heard he's good playing the flute in public too. But after sometimes you get caught,
Get arrested for that.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what I did with it at band camp, but anyways, Jarvis has tallied 10 points, 4 goals, and 6 assists in the 10 playoff games he has been in so far this postseason. His ability to contribute in these high-pressure situations has been a significant factor in the team's success. This one thing I did notice watching the game, and it was this way against New Jersey too. He has been very, very physical on the ice, and he ranks 3rd on the team in hits during the playoffs. I'd say he's not only hot in the playoffs, but also, making a spot for him as one of probably the next big up-and-comers in the NHL, where we'll be talking about him more often for years to come. He is a 21-22 Young Guns. His PSA 10 pop is 475 with a 59% gem rate. Last sale was May 11th for 85 USD. 52-week high for him is 150, and the low would have picked this bad boy up for $26 US.
Wow. Do you guys at this point think he has more hobby upside than Svechnikov?
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, yes. Svechnikov, he's done. It's unless they win the cup 2 years in a row and he scores game-winning goals, and
sure,
yeah, the name alone, the team he's on,
okay,
that's what I think. All right, my
Billy?
pick. I went with the goalie. I figured when I saw some stats, I was like, yeah, I got to pick this guy. So Frederik Andersen is my pick. He's been quite the fortress these playoffs with wait for it, boys, 1.366 goals against. That's insane. So second goals against is Stolarz, which very, very direct. He just was a wall against my Sen. So Stolarz, an amazing playoffs. He's a 2.1. So 2.1 for second Stolarz, 1.36 for Freddie Andersen. Unreal. He's been pretty much unbeatable these playoffs. So in the first round against the Islanders, he made a pad save on Barzal's breakaway in Game 4, and that clinched a 3-2 win. So that sent Carolina onward. So very clutch for Freddie. In Game 1 of the second round against the Capitals, he stopped 28 of 29 shots, including a huge glove save on Ovechkin's one-timer. that kind of stuff just sends your team buzzing, you know? So
Mhm.
his net minding is so stingy. Opponents are scoring less often than the Leafs win in a playoff series. Sorry, Toronto Freddie's thriving without you. I'm saying it because I'm being a jerk. They beat us. So it's so stupid that I said it, but I'm saying it. So in game 5 against the Capitals, he denied Wilson on a point blank wrister in the third. That also kept them preserving a 2-1 lead, and they sealed this series with 25 saves after that game. So he's been clutch more than people watching the series even know.
Right.
100%. Anderson's leading the Hurricanes charge. Unlike his time in Toronto, where the net was a revolving door of disappointment, Mr. Anderson is doing much better. After battling injuries last season and earlier this year, this playoff resurgent is the comeback story of 2025. You know, I don't really want Carolina in the finals, but if they do it, now you know a big reason why. Anderson is a 2013 Young Guns PSA 10 pop count of only 125. No, he's not in a Leafs jersey, ladies and gentlemen. He was an Anaheim Duck. The last card that sold, the last PSA 10 that sold was April 1st. No, I'm totally serious. Or am I kidding? No, I'm serious. It sold for $69.96, which is awesome, to clearly some type of sadist. Anyways, highest price in 2 years for this card is $94. And check this out. The lowest price was $24.50. So quite the delta of difference for Mr. Anderson, but I don't see his hobby doing much. It's just kind of nice to talk about him having a good playoffs. He's already played for 3 different teams in 12 years, and he's a goalie.
Well, the knock on him is the injury thing, right?
Yeah, he's always kind of Mr. Glass. Yeah, but that's my pick, man. Well deserved.
Nice.
Speaking of glass, the struggle bus is crunching glass right under its tires right now, rolling up, and oh wow, could have never seen this or foreshadowed this. We riding the struggle bus right in the front row, Alexander Ovechkin.
I can't believe you're doing this
for our boy Ovi.
What a bomb! Trade him! Trade him!
Stop with the thud. Ovi and his Capitals were eliminated from the 24-25 Stanley Cup playoffs by the Hurricanes in just 5 games. In that 5-game series versus the Canes, Ovi had just 1 point and was -3. Not fantastic.
No.
Over his career now, his postseason totals are 77 goals, 70 assists for 147 points in 161 games played. When I saw the 161 games played, I thought, oh, that's kind of a lot. I got curious and wanted to see, well, what player has played the most playoff games in NHL history? Do you guys want to guess?
Crosby. Structure.
No, it's going to be somebody on the Red Wings. How's that?
Yeah, kind of. Chris Chelios, 266 career games.
Interesting.
When you think about that, that's basically more than 3 additional seasons added onto his career.
That's crazy.
That is one. Okay, well, now that we're on this train, then see, I spiraled down into rabbit holes. It's not good. So we, of course, know that Gretzky has the most postseason points in NHL history. You guys want to take a guess who has the second most points of any player in NHL history?
Nikita Kucherov. Oh, I don't know.
Ron Francis.
Postseason? Nah, maybe with the Penguins. But who do you guess, Louis?
Mark Messier.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yari Curry. Okay.
Messier is the winner. He had 295 career postseason in points, and also is second all time to Gretzky at the 109 playoff goals.
Wow.
Pretty impressive.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
Back to Ovi. Maybe at times during this series, he started to show his age a little bit, or I don't know, maybe the totality of what occurred this season got to him a bit, or he just had a bad 5 games. Who knows? It's funny, though, when you look at the headlines when I was doing my research for this and trying to justify putting him on the struggle bus, the headlines are out there. It's funny how fast the narrative turns.
When you're good, you're good. When you suck, you suck.
Yeah.
Was he a liability? Was Ovechkin a liability in round 2? I saw that one. For all his greatness, is he a postseason underachiever?
Who
And I
comes
also
up with this
saw,
crap?
just do Google News search. You'll find a ton of them.
Jesus. We are so bad at writing nowadays. Just be done with it. Not us,
So-
but others.
What I wanted to maybe talk about in a little bit of detail. So I did see some writing, actually 2 or 3 articles that alluded to McDavid, the McDavid Cup conversation, and basically asked this question. Had the Capitals not won the Stanley Cup in 2018, would we look at Ovi's career differently today? Would the narrative be, yeah, he's an amazing goal scorer, but could never get the job done, could never win the cup? I honestly kind of think that would have been the case. I think
I
that
agree.
would have been a
Yep.
narrative this
Yeah.
year in the whole chase. Is it would have been, yeah, but
Mhm.
the cup.
He wouldn't have the royalty around him. He's royalty now, right? It's like King Ovechkin. He'd be Prince, like, you'll never be king like your daddy, whoever his daddy would
Sure.
be. I don't know. But yeah,
Mhm.
big good point, Josh. I think it makes a world of a difference.
I would hope that would be the case, just for the simple fact that, even though he's flipping awesome with McDavid, he still hasn't won the cup either. So he's just a little prince.
Mhm.
I'm starting to believe a little bit on the whole McDavid thing. I know Dallas is going to be, I think if they can get past Dallas, then I'm fully on board.
But you know what they need to do is, I was going to ask you about this when you did have McDavid
Yeah.
on your Who's Hot. Yes, he's helping out the team, but he needs to be better than 1 goal and 9 assists or whatever he's got in the playoffs. He needs like 5 goals, 8 assists, 4 assists, 5 assists, 9 goals, 5 assists. That's where I see him.
That's been his whole year, though. He scored less than 30 goals this year, didn't he?
I really
think
don't
so.
know. But
I think
in
so.
order to get by Dallas, he's going to need more than 1 goal.
Sure. Yeah, they need to score. Okay, back to Ovi. That being said, I don't think the Caps losing in round 2 diminishes anything from what's been an incredible season for Ovi.
Mhm.
It's my personal opinion. And Alexander Ovechkin is a 2005-06 Young Guns PSA 10 pop 1,322, 32% gem rate. Last sold for $3,324 US on May 15th. It's down 17% in the past 2 weeks, down 37% in the past 3 months. So price is normalizing a bit, it looks like right now.
Mhm.
52-week low, 3,049 US, and 52-week high, 5,950. Louis, who's joining the Great 8 on the struggle bus?
Mr. Jack Eichel.
Gosh,
So-
this could be like a struggle bus all-star team, the way this is shaking out.
Possibly. So, Eichel, Vegas Golden Knights star center, came into the 2025 playoffs following, he had a great regular season. He had a career high 94 points in 77 games. So obviously expectations were high for Eichel to lead the charge. In the first round against our beloved, don't get past the first round, Minnesota Wild. Seemed like Eichel was having challenges even finding a rhythm. Just, he plays the game so simply, and it didn't look like he was kind of a part of many plays out there on the ice the whole time watching him.
I have a follow-up question.
Go.
Do you think the other teams in the Western Conference, when the playoff brackets come out and they see the first round matchup against the Wild, that they consider it like a bye?
Yeah.
I think there's an exhale.
I bet you well, like anybody, you feel it, but you just don't say it.
Yeah, they feel it in their plums that they're going to whoop them.
Right. But the problem with them is, I'll get to it later. They did the same thing against Edmonton.
Sure.
They played like crap against us where they should have walked us, and then they didn't do any better against Edmonton. So I'll touch on that in a minute, though. Through the initial 4 games, he managed only 1 assist, which started to raise concerns about his potential series impact. His performance did improve in games 5 and 6 a little bit. He did get a goal and a few assists, which ended up helping put the Knights past the Wild in 6 games. Now, with that, they took the series with the Wild. And here's what probably killed them. You, Mr. Eichel, and your top guys did not show up and look ready for an Oilers team. Together, the three of them combined for 8 goals, 15 assists, and 23 points, which wasn't enough to knock off Edmonton. While the team struggled offensively still, Eichel's contributions were still limited, and he couldn't get to his regular season form for this series either. The series concluded with a 1-0 overtime loss in Game 5, where they were eliminated from the playoffs by Edmonton. So there you go. 11 games, 1 goal, 9 assists, 10 points, and a -8. Not
Ooh.
good.
Right.
For the regular season he had. Boy. He's a 2015-16 Young Guns, PSA 10 pop of 1,278 and a gem rate of 49%. Last sale was May 12th for $153.82, to be exact, USD. It's up 21% in the last 2 weeks. It's even up 28% over the past 3 months. The 52-week high on this card is $193 US, and
Wow.
the low was all the way down to 55
Oh,
US
God.
dollars.
What?
Yeah.
There's that's crazy.
We've never had
asshole.
one that there hasn't been like a 4x swing
Right.
within the year.
I think at some point we're gonna have to, maybe when the season's done or something, we had to start looking at some of these young guns and just mapping it out a little bit and seeing how bad this really is. The
Crazy.
1 year swings up and down. It's crazy. I mean, what do you do with the cards? Unless you have a super stud and you pull them right away, you get rid of it at that time because everybody wants it right away. But you almost got to hold on to these dang things and just wait for that moment.
Yeah.
If somebody that wants to sell it, just hang on to it. Nope,
That's
it's at
if you hit it in a box. I don't I
Sure.
don't know what to buy and hold and sell. That's why I think only 10% of flippers are successful. It's
Yeah,
a good
'cause-
point.
yeah,
Good point.
You're right, because if I were to be doing it, I'd have bought it at 180.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Yeah.
What I would be curious to know, based on the question you just asked, is so we're seeing these dramatic swings for everybody within a year. Are all the lows around the same time? Because that might tell you something.
Just
Yeah.
a reflection of the market itself.
Yeah, whether there's some seasonality to the market, or is it just truly price chaos and there's really nothing that can
That's a good
predict,
point.
and that's in of itself informative.
Well, it's kind of like grading, right? Everyone, like, not many people are hitting 10s right now. They're being pretty strict, and whenever I mean, it's been a while, but someone's like, no, it doesn't. The grading doesn't matter. We don't go through different ways. Stop. There is so much data. You can see all the waves of easy grading, hard grading. So I wonder if this card market thing would be similar, or maybe it's just like young guns in particular are taking a dip and patch cards are increasing. Ooh, a lot of things you could look at.
We need a
Josh,
smart person on the show.
Yeah.
We need a psychologist, and we need a mathematician. We need a woman.
Mhm.
We have Louis, so it's kind of close. And then we
Womanish.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. We're gonna keep picking on Vegas.
All right.
Are we?
Yes, we are, Louis. I'm gonna follow
Oh,
suit, big
yeah.
boy. So I had to pick on somebody, and I'm sorry, Willie boy, you're it. So William Carlson, who I already don't like from the beginning because he stole the last name from my favorite player, Eric. So my guy had it first. But anyways, full circle, Willie, full circle. So Mr. Carlson has had no points in his last 2 games against the Edmonton Oilers, obviously. Quite disappointing for a third line center who, listen, some teams roll their third and fourth lines a lot. Vegas is one of them. So this third line center has had an average ice time in the playoffs of 17 minutes and 32 seconds per game. In game 4 against Edmonton, he failed to record a single shot, and he played over 18 minutes on the ice. Definitely a misstep, worse than decisions Josh makes when he buys his cards. His third line role requires a little bit of offensive contribution, but unfortunately, he's been as productive as a fat kid guarding his birthday cake from his sneaky cousins. In game 3, Carlson skated 17 minutes and missed an open net in the second period, costing Vegas a key scoring chance. He's had 6 points in 9 playoff games. Okay, it's not that bad, but it is a little underwhelming, especially with his recent scoreless streak dragging down the third line. Yeah, I'm saying it. So let's not pick on him too much. He does have a winning percentage of faceoffs of 59%, not too shabby. After a 30-goal season in 23-24, Carlson's playoff performance is well below his past standards. He had 4 points in 3 second-round games earlier, but with only 15 shots in 9 games, you're not really going to be challenging goalies enough to pick those numbers up. Willie is a 2014 Young Guns with a PSA Pop 10 count of 150. The last card sold on February 28th for 42 America bucks. Oh, man. In the last 2 years, it's gone as low as $18 and as high as 78. So there's that 4X again.
Yeah.
You go.
Yeah. $18 for a Willie Karlsson PSA 10. I mean, I'd almost pick that up. I wouldn't, but yeah.
Here's our
that's my
quick
pick.
recap. Who's hot? We have Mark Scheifele, Seth Jarvis, and Frederick Anderson. And on the struggle bus, Ovi, Jack Eichel, and Wild Bill.
Wow.
Slab Sharks, Gongshow partner sponsor. Thankful for their support of our show. We are the official U.S. hub for consigning your cards in the biggest weekly hockey auctions there is. No more. You have to worry about shipping your cards to Canada and all the icky, cumbersome stuff that comes with that. No shipping to Canada.
No shipping to Canada for you.
All right.
None for you.
None for you.
All you got to do is fill out your consignment form, enter your submission details, and then send them to us at Hockey Cards Gongshow, P.O. Box 389, Farmington, Minnesota 55024. Our address will be on the Slab Sharks website soon. They're working on that. So, but in the meantime, the interim, as the kids like to say, just use that address that we're giving you. We have it in our show description, link to sign up for our specific form, I guess you'd call it, in the descriptions there.
Well, that form's important because that separates you from, the form's very important. It's simple,
it's a cool
but
form.
it's key.
Yeah. I'll touch
on
on
the Slab
form.
Sharks form. It's the coolest ones. Oh, yes. Touch on it.
I'll touch on the form later on because I actually have something I pulled that I'm just going to put in the auction. So I'll just touch on
Good for you.
the form.
It's a wise decision, Louis.
Is it bigger than you're normally used to?
We still talking about the card?
Yes. It doesn't matter. I was curious about the card. Yeah.
Okay, you'll find out.
Yeah. Stick around, Phil.
Okay.
Well, there's no better spot to consign your hockey cards in Slab Sharks weekly eBay auction. The whole hockey hobby camps out to get their shot at the biggest pool of hockey cards available at each Thursday night when their auctions close. And Americans, we can stop missing out now on the fun. So let's start to see some submissions. Our P.O. box has had packages in it. So we know it works. It's already working, and we're getting those off to Canada into the auction. So hopefully you'll try it out. Who knows? You might just like it.
Do you remember once on the phone, like a year ago, I was complaining. I was like, oh, man, I'm like, there's been 2 Brady cards on ebay.com. I can't get them because they won't ship to the States. You don't lose your cool often, but you're like, are you starting to complain to me that you don't have opportunity to buy hockey cards on eBay? I was like, okay, fair enough. It's like for every 100 cards you can't, So,
I know.
Yeah, it's a major difference. The .ca is a major difference.
Well, it's another big auction. 5,481 cards this week. And the three of us spent some time looking through and have each picked out some of our favorites to highlight. Because both Louie and Phil were scared and that you would all make fun of them for the cards they picked. They asked me to go first. And so I will. You're welcome, boys. Here's my favorites this week. So the first one is a 2000 Upper Deck Sergei Fedorov UD Exclusives game used jersey auto out of 25. You don't see many Fedorov game used jerseys or patches or anything. So especially from the playing days era. So this is it's not a Nico Hischier.
No,
I'm like, is Ari just gonna ignore that?
But I'll get it fixed. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
It doesn't matter. No one cares about words. We care about the stars.
No one cares about words on a podcast.
Words don't matter. Like doctors, very overrated. No one cares.
I just find it funny how something so simple I can just skip.
God cares, man.
What do you guys think of Fedorov's auto? You like it?
It looks like a treble clef.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, like sheet music?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
He put a lot of effort into the number sign too. Like it's very ornate.
I would say too much effort.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Never know. And then the second card I picked is a 2021 Upper Deck the Cup. Another Nico Hischier. Wayne Gretzky, the show, black auto. Look at this card.
I got a question.
I like it. Yeah.
Because I was going to pick this before I saw you already picked it, but then I was kind of looking at it saying, I love the card. It's beautiful. The silver on the black looks great. But shouldn't the auto be underneath his name?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't see many of them. I don't think. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me. I'm sure you will. But usually the auto's down underneath the show and the name. I don't know.
Wayne likes to go up at the end though, like a lot of. So I think that would have been hard because his elbow is down.
Mm.
You know, like if he went to the bottom and the big Y at the end might have struggled. So he might have asked Billy when he was signing the card, Billy, can I sign on the top? And then Billy probably called Grant, and Grant said, sure, he's the great one. He can do it.
Or he was fighting with Janet and he just wasn't paying attention to where he put the auto too.
I love Janet.
But I'm sorry to steal your thunder there. It's a beautiful.
Great comment. I really like these cards. So this is a Nico Hischier rainbow foiled speckled that I would love to have.
Mm-hmm.
All
Awesome.
right, Louis. What were your favorites?
Probably another Nico Hischier. Oh my God, It is. I swear it is. Holy crap. Good thing I write this stuff down here, else I wouldn't know really what it was. It's a 2015 Upper Deck the Cup Steve Yzerman patch auto gold foil. We got close. Out of 8. It's a nice patch with
what a card.
Like the CCM on from the
bottom.
Oh, it's amazing. This card, I didn't see this. This is an amazing pick, Louis. Wow.
Either that or it's from the back of the neck. Who knows? But auto's awesome. Patch is awesome. If you're a bookends guy, it's 8 of 8.
The bookend.
And then,
well, how much is it going for?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You just have to jump on.
Money doesn't matter to Louis. When you're that wealthy, you don't look at price.
Clearly.
You just look at what your heart tells you.
You have to realize that all the cards I pick, I can't afford anyways, so I just don't care.
So it doesn't even. I don't know what it costs. It's a lot.
What would you guess, Phil? Like, what would you guess?
I'm not good on I'm not good on the cup parallels because I've paid $800 for a Brady patch auto and I've paid like $55. It's a very hard market to.
What would you be comfortable though paying for this card?
If I had an Yzerman, I would want it. The CCM hits me in the feels. That's the problem. I'd pay like $500 for this.
Well,
Canadian.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what it's worth. I think that's overpaying because
you're still in the running then at that price.
Yeah, so I would pay $2,000 if I could get the other 2 cards or 3 cards. I would pay a considerable amount if I could get the set that all says CCM with Yzerman. I would be very happy, and I would frame that, and I would overpay for that.
So here's a question for you then.
Okay.
Chew on this. Do you think out of the other 7 cards in this, they used the CCM and you could potentially put that together?
Freaking better have.
Well, that's what I'm kind of chasing. You better have used it if you use it.
I'm gonna stick my head in the sand and say, obviously they did, Louis.
Okay.
Ooh, maybe they didn't. Probably not.
Good. Well, for my next final Hischier pick, we have give me a minute so I can get exactly what year it is then. 2019 Upper Deck the Cup Leon Draisaitl NHL Collection patch auto out of 10. Nice.
Beauty patch.
Nice patch. I don't mind the design of it. I don't, usually I'm not super huge on the smaller kind of like tiny photo pictures, but this one works. Number 6 out of 10. Nice card. It can be yours. 4 days left.
Okay, Dildo. Which one's did you pick?
Dildo Smosh is next. Beautiful card. So it's a 1 out of 49, 2013 Panini National Treasures, Don Cherry and Steve Yzerman hockey card. Sounds a little weird if you're not looking, but I'll explain it for you. I'll half explain it. So I'm always looking for a nice Don Cherry card. I don't have one. I have some Don Cherry cards, but they're all kind of cheesy. I don't really like them. I completely forgot about these National Treasures from Panini. So here we have him with Steve Yzerman, and Steve is in the bottom left of the card when his bright red Detroit Red Wings uniform, and other cards have their other players with Don Cherry featured are Doug Gilmour, Eric Lindros, Mark Messier, and there's a few others I'm not remembering. I think Tyler Seguin is one of them. But in this card, he's with Steve Yzerman. This is just a beautiful, simple, really clean card, and the autographs are very strong. They're both in the same pen. You don't see that too. Like they're very prominent on the card. Don Cherry has more opacity in his picture, and it's black and white, and he's giving his famous thumbs up. That's what really matters here. That's what makes this card so great, because one of the better things Don Cherry is known for is that beautiful smile he gives with his thumbs up at the end of his segments. So if you love him or hate him, he is a very passionate man who loves the game of hockey and the hard work that comes with it, right? I think Don Cherry got a little upset at the lack of pursuit of excellence, and that's something that some people don't like. And regardless, love him or hate him, this is a beautiful hockey card. I would love to own this card. I don't have any Don Cherry cards that I want to keep, pretty much, and this would be one of them. And I think Panini did a great job here with the good Canadian boy Steve Yzerman on the card. And the current bid is $84. Beaver dollars, though. Beaver bucks. So big fan of this card.
Good choice.
Thank you, sir. And my next card, a weird one, a 2018 Upper Deck Ice Tom Barrasso signature swatch. So isn't this a patch? I don't get this swatch napkin patch thing. I don't know what the heck this is supposed to be. This is a patch, is it not?
Well, it's labeled Swatches Patch Auto.
What's a swatch and what's a patch?
Normally a signature swatch, like from the cup, means that the auto is on the memorabilia.
Oh, like a nameplate?
Or is that, no, that's scripted swatches, right? Yeah, I don't know. This is a little...
okay. It's a patch. Okay, fine. The signature swatch, sure, cool. It's a patch of Tom Barrasso, and it's awesome. It's really, really nice. It's got like 18 breaks in it. It doesn't. It's got a lot, though. So former Ottawa Senator Tom Barrasso. I love this crazy, crazy man. You never really see cards from this guy, and this card's awesome. It's very well designed. It's a beautiful patch. It's got the Upper Deck logo in the old colors. Oh, no, it doesn't. Never mind. Forget that last part. But it's got Tom Barrasso in a beautiful silver auto. I'm not sure who would buy this card, but there's got to be a Tom Barrasso fan out there. I would think so. So if there is a Tom Barrasso fan out there, I would say probably one of his top 10 cards would be this one. Big chunky white patch, black, canary yellow. I mean, what's not to love? And the card's out of 5 as well. What else does a hockey card need? I love seeing players like this make the cutting room floor. This reminds me of other goalies like Andy Moog, Mike Vernon, Craig Anderson, Jonathan Quick, some other goalies that come to mind that I would love to see more cards of. Anywho, I'm not going for this card, but I'm surprised. Current price of this card is 152 Beaver bucks. Not too shabby at all. Good. Tom bringing in the bacon.
Nice card.
There you go. Good picks, boys. The reason why so many Canadian and now American hockey card collectors are choosing Slab Sharks to consign their cards because, well, they make your lives easy. All you got to do is submit your cards via their simple-to-use portal on slabsharks.com and ship them either to their Canadian postal addresses or the new U.S. address, P.O. Box 389, Farmington, Minnesota, 55024. Then you're done. Slab Sharks does everything else. Plus, your cards get listed in the biggest weekly hockey auction there is, and collectors around the world can bid on your cards. So for complete consignment information, including payout rates, head to slabsharks.com. And if you're in the U.S., use the direct link to sign up in our show description to register with us, which makes filling out any submission a breeze. Like you barely have to do anything. Hobby news.
Hobby news.
News from the hobby.
Gonna go homer on you, Phil.
I saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta report the news.
Yeah, the hobby is eagerly anticipating your first story. Breaking news flash. Ridiculous.
Breaking news. The Minnesota Wild have signed their 2022 first round pick, Danila Yurov, to a 3-year entry-level contract.
Oh, my God.
Pay him $950K per season. Now, there's a point to this, so just hold your horses. The 21-year-old Russian, if he does not make the Wild's roster in training camp, he has a kind of a unique clause that will allow him to be loaned back to the KHL for the 2025-26 NHL season, and then actually 3 years of his entry-level contract. So it's kind of a put me in the NHL or I'm going back to Russia sort of clause. Now, Yurov was drafted with the 24th overall pick in 2022. This is where it gets hobby relevant, Phil. His
Okay.
21 goals and 49 points in the KHL for the 23-24 season broke Vladimir Tarasenko's
Oh,
KHL under 21 scoring record.
Suck it,
Not
Trebek.
Not Tarasenko. He's going to save us. Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yurov has
jealous.
also won a KHL championship. Now, this past season, he battled injuries. He had shoulder surgery and ankle surgery. Oh, that's fantastic.
It's not
Well,
good
it's
that
over
young,
with.
man. It's a little nerve-wracking, no? That young? Think he'll be okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not. And his production dropped to 13 goals and 25 points in 46 games. Scott Wheeler from The Athletic ranked Yurov the Wild's second best prospect behind our boy Zeev Bium in his 2025 ranking. So I don't know, Baba Louie. Maybe Danila Yurov ends up as a 2025 Series 2 Young Guns. Could have another Wild chaser. Everyone wants that.
Yes.
Phil, I could see you on the edge of your seat that whole time.
Yeah.
He's just jealous.
I am jealous. Of course I'm jealous. I don't have a problem with saying that. I'd love to have him on my team.
Yeah.
We'll
Well, you wanted something more relevant to you, so let's go back to the.
Bill's back.
Is it happening again? Can we stop with the geopolitical twists and turns on our hobby? Is your country really headed for another postal strike, Phil? Again?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Do you want me to do my
If I'm a hobby shop in Canada, I'm like, really?
listen, man, you're used to it though. That's the thing. Like speed of the pitch. You don't get a 90-mile-an-hour fastball all of a sudden when you wake up. You grow with it, right? So we've been trained to expect this stuff. Is it frustrating? Yeah, but no, we're not going to do. What are we going to do? Throw insults at them? Yeah. All right, I'm going back to my Netflix. Like it's
so fill us in with what's going on here.
All right. So to my American friends, a friendly reminder: Canada Post is a crown corporation. What's a crown corporation, Phil? Well, America, excellent question. A crown corporation is a business owned by the Canadian government, federal or provincial, that runs like a company but serves the public. Here's a bit of the issue. This is as big of an opinion as I'm going to give, okay?
Okay.
The bulk of the workforce, so the bulk, so let's say the delivery staff of Canada Post, for example, they're private hires, while the higher ups, like managers and executives, they have more bureaucratic ties to the government. So I don't think there's efficiency happening right now. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Either way, okay. So Canada Post is one of 47 federal crown corporations, like our train system, like Carter works for via rail. They get taxpayer funds and fees. They have their own bosses, but they answer to the government. Okay. The problem is that 55,000 of the workers are unionized, and on May 22nd, I believe, that's the day they can strike. So right now they can't. And things that were fixed before, they weren't fixed. It was just a Band-Aid. But now on May 22nd, that agreement is done. So they have the legal right to strike. So yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to say. So I mean, yeah, just get all your cards now if you want. I mean, if you can, I don't know. Nothing we can do, man. Let our elected officials grab this one by the horns and take care of it.
In an article I read, one of the proposals I saw was to end daily deliveries to homes in Canada.
Yeah, we don't get that's rural though. So I've been in suburbs my whole life. I haven't had mail delivered to my mailbox in maybe 10 years, 12 years.
How do you get all your
so they have
we all know you get lots of hockey cards every day. Where do they come?
They have boxes at the end of each street, and then you walk down your street and you just turn. Yeah, so your mailbox is at the end of your street with everybody else. We don't have door-to-door mail. In the rural routes, you have your mailbox at the end of your driveway, and the postman. It's constantly like, give them less and tell them they're getting more. And I think I think we just got really used to it. I'm not even upset anymore. Whatever. It is what it is. They can't even pick up my garbage every week. You think I care about the mail?
Oh,
let's hope it avoids another issue for the hobby. That's all I want to happen.
Yeah, me too. I hope so. I mean, hopefully our federal budget allocates some money here for these strikes not to happen. But yeah, we'll see.
You had another story for Hobby News, Phil?
I have two stories. I have two
Yeah.
good ones. Okay. So we'll do the CT scanning news and updates first. This one is absolutely terrifying, but it's here to stay, boys. So the company Industrial Inspection and Consulting might sound familiar, right, boys? Well,
Sure.
that's the company, and I'm sure not only the main one, but it's the main one we're all aware about. So that company, Industrial Inspection and Consulting, they just launched a new division called X-Ray Authority. Okay. So now they are officially into the sports memorabilia game. It's official.
Mm-hmm.
So the new division is called X-Ray Authority. They have a beautifully laid out website with a variety of packages that include scanning a full case or just one pack of cards. Confidentiality reports to the private scans. X-Ray Authority provides customers with a detailed report of any box contents or any pack contents, parallels, autographs, specific cards, you name it, doesn't matter. They will not disclose it to third parties. They've given you that guarantee for their business. This ensures that only the customer will know the value of their box, preserving anonymity in subsequent sales or trades. Non-disclosure to public authentication, which certifies a box's integrity for all to see. Private scans are not logged in a public database or shared with auction houses like Golden, who is their partner. So they don't even have to do that. Okay, so if Josh wants to just find out what's in one pack, only Josh and X-Ray Authority know forever and always. It's crazy. It's insane. Anyways, this allows customers to maintain complete control over who knows anything about their scan. So I'll kind of stop there, but it's absolutely more terrifying news from the science and tech part of our hobby. The silver lining, I guess, is that we're in hockey. I mean, that's the only good thing I can think of is that we're not a big fish. But I'm pretty. I mean, they're mainstreaming it, right? They're mainlining it, mainstreaming, whatever term you want to. They're making it easier to do.
They scan the cup all the time.
I think this will make an honest person tell themselves a new narrative to stay honest, but do something that they wouldn't normally do. You know?
Yeah. I'm slowly just kind of going through the slides here. So
yeah. Don't my little presentation here is very scratch the surface. If you go to the X-Ray Authority website, you will be blown away. Hey, listen, they're a business. They did it the right way. Yeah, look at that one. What's on the screen now? Hobby boxes, 5 to 10. They've itemized everything. Pretty wild.
On one hand, I like in general protecting consumers' privacy. On the other hand, by making this so private, if you're a breaker, it means you can scan everything without worry that anyone would ever find out.
There is a formula that is perfect out there that someone or some folks have already figured out, right? All you need is to punch in a few numbers and your formula, boom, right? Risk reward. Yeah. I can scan these 18 boxes and all I have to hit is 2 case hits. I'm doing that, right? And if you come out on top 3x, well, that's your job, right? There's your new job. Just do that every week. Just do the formula. Ugh, it's sad. It's inevitable, though. Yeah, it was inevitable.
And now the card companies have to react. How do they?
They will. I'm confident they will. Mr. Mashra has our president of or the CEO. Is he CEO? Or president of Upper Deck? He has our best interests in hands and his company's best interests in hands. It's not good business for this to take off for him. Same with Topps. Yes. Ruben, come on, man, do something. You know, he's spread a little thin, though. I trust Mashra to do something, Mr. Mashra to do something before Ruben. Ruben seems spread pretty thin right now, but he's got the money to throw around, right? We'll see what happens.
True. Yeah, we'll see.
But on a happier note.
Yeah, on a happier note, this is great for the hobby. Thank you, Louis. Good segue. So it's a baseball story, but listen, essential credentials. So check this out. Ken Griffey, 1998 Skybox EX 2001 essential credentials, parallel serial number to 10. Okay, so it's a low serial. 280 large boys, America dollars. It's 1990s cards. Watch out, eh? Just like other rare inserts like PMGs and jambalayas. Talk about significance, guys. Look at guys. All us like man children are having like adult money now, you know. I mean, I don't have 80 large, but I mean, I do, but I'm not spending it on this card. And yeah, anyways, check this out, guys. Last public sale of one of these cards, okay? The last public sale of a non-graded essential credential Ken Griffey Jr. was $516 on eBay in 2006.
Mhm.
What a good buy. What a good buy.
That's not even 20 years ago, guys. I 2006. Cole was born in not even 2 years after that. I remember that like yesterday.
I hope
Why did I
that
buy this
buyer
card?
hope that buyer still has it.
Maybe it's the same guy. I don't know, man.
Well, I was thinking, what are the odds his wife got pissed at him for it? You spent $516 on
kick the witch to the curb, man. You got money now. You can go buy yourself a new wife. Probably better too. All right. So before you guys go out and buy all the Hockey EX cards, please keep in mind that in 2025, Griffey's, yes, please keep in mind that Griffey's 1989 Upper Deck was PSA's 10th most graded card of 2024, and Ken Griffey Jr.'s tops traded card was the second most graded overall. So,
wow.
Yes, this card is very expensive, or this card was bought for a lot of money. Yes, it's an essential credentials, but we don't really have anyone in hockey other than Gretzky that would compete with this type of, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Crosby will never go for this, not in the next 20 years. So just don't. No. I'm just trying to give an air of caution here. That I'm not saying to go buy all your essential credentials. I'm just saying, holy crap, look how expensive a card sold. I'm not.
Well, when I saw that you added this story, I immediately connected to a little bit of research I was doing the other day on the new metal release. And I was looking at, well, have any PMGs sold? And I came across, and this kind of blew my mind in a similar way, that within the last couple months, I think, Upper Deck has released a couple of other sets. The Metal Universe Champions, which is that unlicensed product where they feature a lot of athletes from different sports, and then Metal Marvel. So on April 26th, from Metal Universe Champions, a Michael Jordan Green PMG for a 2024 Michael Jordan Green PMG sold for $30,500 US.
What?
Mm-hmm.
That's not even from a basketball set. I bought a box of that. It's silly. I mean, it's fun. It's silly though.
And then well, this must have come out in the fall, but in December,
well, it's Jordan.
A 2024 Marvel Metal Universe Spider-Man Green PMG sold for the same $30,500 US.
Maybe it was Aunt May.
Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah, it's like hockey cards do not go for nearly what these cards seem to be.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing up the Griffey. Like, he's still in the top 10 most graded PSA cards of anything. Griffey's two of the spots. So that makes sense price-wise, right? You know.
When I think too, like when you look at essential credentials, and a lot of the hockey hobby, especially the newer collectors, they don't understand. It's because we're all the old timers and the big fuddy duddy collectors. They go gaga over them because they know how valuable these late 90s essential credentials and PMGs are. I mean, they're
they will. Listen, our middle-aged butts will get to be old farts. Like in 20 years, we're gonna be you don't know anything about collecting cards. You're just, you know, like, and so we just got to keep it going. Yeah. After we get them.
This next topic should be a lot of fun, guys. We're going to look at the top 5 new cards so far, according to me, this year.
It'll be great.
It'll be good. It'll be great.
The whole hobby will make fun of me once again. So do you guys want to guess how many new licensed, like Upper Deck hockey products we've had so far in 2025? Want to take a guess, Phil?
7.
Keep going.
12?
Yeah.
Oy.
Pretty crazy.
What?
So for today's show, I thought it'd be fun and interesting to take a look at the new cards that have debuted. And for the sake of the discussion, here's how we're going to define new cards. These are cards that have not appeared as hockey cards to this point. I think at least one of the cards that I'm going to mention in my finalists was a basketball card 30 years ago, like we talked about with your Ken Griffey Jr. example. Cards from the 90s that appeared first for other sports tend to make their way sometimes into hockey cards. But by new cards, again, we're talking about these are cards that have not been hockey cards before. So a good example is the new quote unquote Glow P-Chees wouldn't count from 2024 O-Pee-Chee because, of course, they debuted in 2016. And there's already been an O-Pee-Chee hockey card. Right?
Yep.
Then what we're going to do is I'm going to rank them. I'm going to name 10 finalists and I'm going to rank them in order from 5 to 1 because it's fun. And then you guys will agree, disagree, and most likely make fun of me and hurt my feelings.
So is
Which is
number
what I
one the
always-
best?
Yes.
Okay.
Number one's the best.
That's all that matters. That's all I need to know.
Very briefly, here are the 12 new products that have come out so far in the calendar year 2025. We had Black Diamond for 2024, then PWHL, Alberta Clear Cut for 23, 24 Allure, 24 O-Pee-Chee, 24 Series 2. Who could forget EX 2000? Beautiful product.
Trying to remember them all. I forgot. Okay, yeah.
And 23 Premier. Yeah, we've bought all these for your show, Phil. You should know that.
I know.
24 SPX, 24 SP Game Used, 23 Ultimate Collection, and then this past week, 24 Metal Universe. So there's your 12 new products that have come out. Now, if you're weird like me and I spent time going through all 12, every card in these 12 releases and identified only the quote-unquote new cards, you'd probably be surprised how few actually in total new cards have debuted. I want to say I didn't count, but maybe 20 or 25 total brand new cards. We had sets like what I talked about Glow P-Chee. There was nothing new in 2024 O-Pee-Chee. Another good example would be the PWHL set, which has been maybe the set of the year. All those card designs were rehashed from old flagship products and picked back up on like the outburst parallels, that sort of stuff. So nothing new there. So there wasn't like a huge pool to choose from, which did surprise me a little bit. So again, what I did is I picked what I think are the 10 finalists for the top 5. I'm going to roll through them. Then I'm going to give my top 5. And the hobby will agree with everything I say in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my 10 finalists. Number 1 was Dark Matter. I mean, total recency bias. I get it. But this Dark Matter.
Sorry, pause. Louis, did you pick the pictures for Josh?
Of course, yeah, what I
Absolutely.
No. Can you go back one? Go back one. Yeah. Oh, that's paints me like one of your French girls.
Remember, Louis, I don't get mad. I get even. Remember that.
But you had me coming out of a turtle shell a year ago. Come on, it's my turn for a while.
I'm pillaged every week by you two, so I don't even care. I mean,
can we talk about Dark Matter?
Okay,
sure.
I know you
All
switched. You went quick slides. Don't think I didn't notice there.
The reaction to this card has been overwhelmingly positive, and especially when people saw it in hand. And there's the much talked about texture to the text, but it's a very simple design. It's very sleek, black on black. Always seems to work, right? And yeah, the hobby just seems to love them. The one thing, though, that I think that you could point out about these cards, like from a long-term perspective, is they're not exactly as rare as you might think. And they're going for crazy prices right now in the secondary market. So they're 1 in 137 pack odds. It's not like they're super common.
That's not super rare.
But it's not. There are 45 cards on the checklist. So to hit any individual player will be tough, but just keep that in mind. But I'm sure you guys would agree that the response has been pretty positive to this card.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I figured
Beautiful
this would be
card.
hot.
Mm-hmm.
Good listener, if you haven't held one in hand, not in a penny sleeve, not in a top loader, take it out. It's top tier, top notch.
How would you describe the smell?
Chemically, they're all pretty chemically these days. Oh my God.
Sure. Okay, we're gonna stick with metal for the second finalist. I went with liquid gold. Oh man, is this a cool card? I love it. If you're an insert or card techie person, it has it all. It's got acetate, it's got foiling, it's super bendy. I love bendy cards for some reason. A deep checklist too of 25 established stars and very, very rare. So to hit any liquid gold is 1 in 960 pack odds.
Oh, that's
That's
crazy.
1 in 4 cases. And let's say you're into a specific player, Phil, like Brady Tkachuk, because there is a Brady Tkachuk liquid gold. I don't know if you
I
knew that.
know there is.
That is 1 in 24,000 pack odds or 1 in 100 cases for a Brady T.
Yep.
You guys
and
surprised by this one at all, or any comments you want to make on
No,
liquid gold?
I'd like the prices to go down. I haven't seen any for sale under the like $300 yet. That's like crazy.
Yeah, pretty.
I'm surprised you don't have this one as. Or wait, we're going from like your least favorite to your favorite?
5 to 5 countdown, 5 to 1. Number 1, the best.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised.
These
you
are the
have this low.
finalists. These are just the finalists.
Oh.
We're gonna go from 10 to 5.
Okay.
The third finalist is the Gold Outburst Auto from Clear Cut. Now I kind of specifically picked the Gold Outburst, and it is a 101. I get that, but holy moly, do these cards pop! And just I just think that they're amazing. Now, all 46 players have one. If you can't find because it's already gobbled up or don't have the budget for a 101, there is the Silver Outburst parallel that's out of 25. And to me, what I really liked about this card for Clear Cut is it just feels like that now, assuming that Upper Deck keeps doing these, that Clear Cut has like an identifiable card. Like I didn't know the card that defined the Clear Cut release. It just seems to be the acetate version of other popular cards from other sets. That's how I've always viewed Clear Cut.
Oh, that's a good point, Josh. That's a very good point. Upper Deck would be happy with that. Yeah.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Then, believe it or not, from the much panned EX2000 set, I have 2 finalists from that set. The first is the Exceptional insert, which if you're a Jambalaya person, I don't think you want to sleep on this card. These are very rare too at 1 in 576 packs. And with 30 players on the checklist, that means that any one player is in 1 in 17,280 packs. So again, very tough. It is the same tech as the Jambalaya, but different enough. And I think this was a basketball design, again, from a long time ago. But to me, what's made these a little bit more significant is that, as we know, with Metal Universe, Upper Deck decided to give the Jambalaya a rest. And so this is a good way to get your Jambalaya fix if you're that type of person, given that context. But I put this one as one of the top 10.
They're nice. No,
Okay.
they're nice. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I actually picked another one for the top 10 from EX2000, and that is the gold parallel of the double helix.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
Right. Again, from a set that's been pretty widely panned, I think to have 2, there is new stuff that came out, a lot of new stuff and new innovation that came out of EX2000. Super, super tough odds on these. To hit any one of the 25 players on the checklist, 1 in 2,880 packs. So that, like, let's say you want to chase the Wayne Gretzky as an example.
Wayne Gretzky on steroids?
No. Like Gretzky would be 1 in 72,000 pack to hit a gold Wayne Gretzky. That's crazy.
People are knowing this. That's how, listen, the only way I could get rare cards at cheap prices was people didn't know. Now people are knowing because of I don't know why, because they know. So
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm not buying $1,000 double helix Wayne Gretzky card when I can buy a rookie.
Sure.
Like, yeah, it's.
As far as the design, to me, they're super trippy. They've got a lot of tech. It seems like Upper Deck threw the kitchen sink at these from a tech perspective. And what else I like about this card too, if you wanted to make a little bit of a knock on the last card we looked at, the Exceptional, it's very derivative to the Jambalaya. You can tell it's like Jambalaya cousin, right? Now go back to the double helix, Louis. There's nothing that I've ever seen like this card. And I think that when you're looking at new stuff, that to me is distinctive, I guess I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next finalist, I think the 5th out of 10 is another parallel, but the bang for your puck gold. You got to throw some flagship into a discussion like this. And Phil, you called it right away on these cards. They're really awesome. Now, if you go for the gold, it's out of 10. So that can be pretty rare and tough chase too, which gives you that extra element of rarity that comes with flagship too. There are numerous other parallels that you can chase though. There's the speckle, which is 1 in 52, black 1 in 313 pack odds, and then red out of 99. Just a great design, awesome theme to the card, fits flagship. So I'm just a big fan of this card too.
Did you
And
pull one yesterday? Can't remember.
yesterday.
Or
Didn't you guys buy metal yesterday?
Oh yeah.
This is in series 2. Luke.
Yep. Nope. Yep. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Anything to add on bang for your puck, Phil?
Nope. Big fan. Glad you picked it. The gold. Bang for your puck gold.
Yes, the gold.
Yeah.
Okay, now my second auto that I had is the Premier Precipice auto that debuted in Premier, and I don't really even know what I like so much. It doesn't have like a lot of frills to the card. I just think it's a really well executed auto card.
Mhm.
Like I said, there's not a lot of new cards that have come out this year, and this is the first year of the Precipice. What I like about it too is they did a set for both rookies and legends with this design. So depending on what you chase, there could be a card for you. The best players are short printed or super short printed, and then there's also a gold out of 10 parallel.
Nice.
If you want to get rarer than
auto
that,
is the gold auto. Is it a gold auto out of 10?
yeah.
Wow. Look,
I don't know. Maybe it's just gold foiling. I'm not sure.
he's in the background there. He's in the dressing room on his cell phone or something. What?
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know, but it's cool. And it looks like an arrow going upwards a little bit,
Yeah.
like kind of hidden, like the FedEx arrow. I don't know. You're good pick, Josh. I didn't even know about this card.
The Legends have some great checklist players on the checklist too, Louis. There's Madano, Brodeur,
Mhm.
both your guys. There's Messier, Sakic too. And then there's some other, what I liked about the Legends checklist too, is some other kind of more fun ones that you don't see all the time, like Brian Trottier, Peter Bondra, Rick Nash. Not real like super investment type guys, but just fun players to collect.
Forgotten memorable players.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, the next finalist is the Hollowed Hardware. So this one came out of 24-25 SPX. Again, very little new cards that as awesome as SPX was. What I liked about this one is it pays tribute in a way to a lot of award winners cards. I never find that appealing. But this one just seems it's got the holograms in the back. It's a little hard to see in the photo, but it says like heart up and down vertically on the card. So obviously Mario Lemieux in this case was a Hart Trophy winner. 15 total players on the checklist includes Matthews, Ovechkin, and then legends like Bobby Clark, Gordie Howe, Mario Lemieux, Gretzky, and then Crosby McDavid for current guys too. And these are 1 in 267 packs. So kind of that middle ground for rarity. It's not going to be super expensive probably, but also not a dime a dozen either. So big fan of these cards. All right, for the finalists, we've got 2 more. And they are both from Ultimate Collection. And these are kind of the patch autos in the mix.
Sorry.
So the first one I went with was Crease Collection. This is a goalie themed card. The number of parallels. There's jersey autos numbered out of 99, 40, or 25. And then the cards I really like are these gold auto patches. I just think it's a nice goalie. Not a lot of new patch auto cards.
Mm-mm.
Right,
Never knew this existed. I like the attempt that the goalie crease there is the half moon,
Yeah.
Crescent moon. It's nice.
That's what stood out to me too.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
And then the next one is a more of a concept card, but I really like cards like this. It's the Lock Collection All Team. So this has a checklist of only French Canadian players. And the patch is in the Fleur de Lis.
That is awesome. Didn't even know this existed.
Mm-hmm. It's probably a one and done too. And I think like for a new card like that, I can't imagine that this is one because it's going to be a little bit limited, right? You're picking players from, although Quebec has been a major source of NHL talent,
Yeah.
right? That who knows how much they would do this card. There's there's a jersey, and then there's a gold patch out of 35, and then the big one is the gold Spectrum patch auto out of 10. That is 3 players. So you can get a patch auto out of 10 of Guy Lafleur, which I assume it'd have to be a sticker auto at this point because
Oh, I
he's
better
passed-
be Quebec. I hope it's Quebec. That'd be
Luke
nice.
Robitaille, and then Marc-Andre Fleury.
Nice, man. Dangerous game to play though. Like, what's next year? Sweden? What are they going to give you? Like instructions to a poorly made bookshelf with a patch in it?
In IKEA.
Yeah.
I remember an IKEA.
Yeah, like, of course. I mean, I don't want to country appropriate, but I will because it's true and it's funny. So,
Oh,
yeah.
and in case you're wondering too, to do all this research, it actually was very easy because I used hockeychecklist.com, and I'm not lying. Like all the pack odds, all the identifying
Yeah,
all the
no, for
cards, it's very easy to pull off of our checklist site. So if you have not tried it out yet, I would recommend that you do that. So those are the finalists. Here's my top 5. And from 5 to 1, 1 being the best. Okay, so here's the much anticipated top 5. Coming in number 5, Dark Matter. Now, will it stand the test of time? I don't know. That's why I didn't rank it higher. But it is a sleek and sexy card, and I haven't heard as much positivity on new cards like this when a set comes out, and so I went with it at number 5.
All right.
So,
I'll have more to say when your list is done.
okay. Number 4, I went with that Lock Collection All Team we just talked about from Ultimate.
Oh.
Obviously, fantastic patch auto, and if you PC any of these players, I think this would be a card that you just have to have.
I'm surprised you. I couldn't wait till the end. I'm surprised you picked this. You're not a patch card guy.
No, I'm trying to represent the hobby, not just like my favorite, but trying to I'm an objective hockey card journalist, Phil.
Okay, Homer.
He doesn't want crap in the comments.
Yeah. He's like,
If I didn't want crap in the comments, I wouldn't do this show.
Or Phil's little army is gonna come after me. Well, your little army.
Number 3, best card so far in 2025 is the Double Helix Gold from EX2000. For sure, the product hit. I hope this is a one and done too. Then I think the mystique grows and grows, given how tough the odds are.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really hope they don't make this one again.
Or every 5 years. That's a one and done.
Mm-hmm.
Every 5 years would be great.
Number 2 is the Gold Outburst base auto from Clearcut. Again, these they just pop so hard, I think.
Do you think it pops harder than a regular Gold Outburst?
No, but it feels clear-cut. It feels unique, even though it is derivative to that, and it's got the auto element, and the design
I
is
need time. I need time for this card.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's too many lines. There's too many lines of bursting out. I wish there was. You know what I mean? I wish the lines were a bit
like
thicker.
they were thicker but less.
Yeah, less is more.
Okay.
Kind of makes me itchy.
Yeah, but then it doesn't follow suit with the outburst if you change it too much.
It would still be outbursty. It just wouldn't look like it's coming from his butt so much.
Yeah, you win.
Okay.
What? Come on, say what?
No. Well,
All right,
if it was coming from the one area where there isn't lines is where there would be lines if it was coming from his butt. But that's what
You're telling me if you got a protractor right now, those lines wouldn't all point to the buttular area? Of course they would.
But things that come out of your butt go down. But he pooped the auto, and
that's because you're sloppy. I have torque. Mine go up. My farts shoot up. Your farts have no juice to them. They just go bleh.
Number 1.
Okay.
Might spark hobby controversy. I'm going with liquid gold as number 1.
Figured,
and I get it. Some people aren't techie cards, and if you're not, then you would never swipe right on a card like this. I just think it's amazing. It's fresh. It's very new. There's nothing like it. I can't think of a card that would be similar to this from before, which is important. And yeah, I just love this card. I think it's the best new one. Now, okay, Phil, now crush my dreams.
No, I every card. I'm sorry, I don't have a volatile response. every card you've showed, I am extremely interested in. I'm just not sold on them yet. I want to hold a few in my hands more. I think there's nothing wrong with your list. I think it's a great list. Mine would be quite similar. I haven't seen a liquid gold in hand yet. I haven't seen, the only card I've seen in hand is a clear cut gold outburst, which was amazing, but there was something about it I couldn't get behind, and I need patience for that. The dark matter card, I guess that would be my number one pick because I love that card, and I hit one in one of my packs, or I bought one, I can't remember, but I have a dark matter, and it's a phenomenal card. I love the matte black with the raised writing of the letters, and they're glossy. Oh, it's just an amazing card. And you showed a couple of cards that I have not seen before, so I think it's a good list to get us started, and we'll see how the year progresses. But overall, I think metal this year for me is the insert kind of king, you know. And then there is one card. There is one card you picked. I don't know. I don't have them all in front of me. That I think I liked a lot more than you did. Unfortunately, I just can't.
Is that the bang for your puck?
No, it might have been a different one.
The Premier Precipice Auto. I know it's not the exceptional.
No, keep going there. No. I'll go back. No, it was the SPX hologram type of card.
Oh, the Hollowed Hardware. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that card. I have one of them. Yeah, that reminded me of a holo type a little bit.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy those cards. And you made a very good point. Award cards don't really attract. And this one would. Allure has one like that as well, where they have a different Stanley Cup design as a hologram a little bit for their players. I have a few Crosbys with like 1938 Cup and 1955 Cup. And there are minor differences that you don't notice. But you know, if that's your thing, you do notice. So I like that pick of yours. And I've never seen that. I'd like to hold that in hand.
Is there a card that stands out to you, Louis, of all the new stuff so far this year?
I like that Hollowed Hardware. And then what was the one they had? Premier Precipice Auto, I think.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Well, it's got all your favorite players. So.
Oh, that's not why I picked it. That was the one that had Bedard on it, right?
Yeah, that's on that Bedard. And then they have the Legends too that has both Brodeur and Madonna. So you might have to, if those are flying under the radar, it might be one to start looking for.
I'm in.
You're in. Okay. Well, and I think too, in general, I haven't looked at new releases in the lens of like brand new cards. And I think I want to keep closer tabs on that moving forward, because I think that is important, where we've talked about a lot really over the last year about how much trouble we get into, like when metal comes out and it's just the same cards over and over again. And it's the 8th David PMG or Jambalaya. And so I do think that Upper Deck continuing to innovate on new designs and new card themes is very important for us.
Yeah, this metal was super sweet. It was fun opening that box up.
Well, I am a little bummed out that metal didn't have the Lightyear cards this year. That was my that was my top 3 card of the year last year, was that the 9.461
gigawatts or whatever.
Yeah, gigawatts. Come on, Marty. That I have the Bedard of that. I paid, I don't know what I paid, but it was one of the nicest hockey cards I've ever seen in my life to this day. I just bought the Jake Sanderson for like $15 out of 100.
Well, that's pretty awesome though. When that happens at away, because now you can get them for cheap.
That would have been my number one pick. I know that's not the segment we just did, but that's from last year's metal. I mean, that was, I guess that's a one and done. And poor Billy was kind of bummed out that no one liked it. I love that card, Billy.
You got a couple of them, you said?
Yeah, I got the Bedard. I think I got $300. It's in my Quebec City video. I just walked by and the card spoke to me. I was like, holy, and it just happened to be Bedard on it. I wish it wasn't, because it would have been a lot cheaper, but they're only out of 100. The Lightyear cards for metal last year, 23, 24.
I need to see one of those.
You can hold mine, Louis, if you want.
Oh, thank you.
You need to hold it. You need to see it in hand. There's a type of coating on there. I don't know. I got to ask Billy. Yeah.
But you're right, though. You just kind of alluded to that you didn't get that card until you saw it in hand.
Correct. Correct.
If you would have only ever seen a photo online, it probably would have never appealed to you.
I'd probably think it looks stupid. I'd be like, what's this doing? Like, that wouldn't, it made no sense. And it's so simple. There's something about the card. It has depth to it. I don't know how they did it. Amazing card.
It's magic. Mint Inc. is a friend and partner of this Total Gong Show, and they are a sponsor for new product releases. They built the card shop of the future, really, in Vaughan, which is, of course, a Toronto suburb, as we've learned. It's not just the perfect layout for their assortment of hobby boxes, singles, and tons of other memorabilia, but it's really an event center, too, which is very smart. You know how they designed it? The next trade night at Mint Inc. is Friday, May 30th. You want to reserve a free spot at mintink.ca. And speaking of mintink.ca, you can order your hobby boxes from anywhere in Canada on mintink.ca. Get them shipped right to your doorstep. Even get them shipped to weird places in Canada. Like we know all the places Phil goes. As long as there's delivery service and probably not a postal strike, Mint Inc. has your back, but there's alternate delivery services. So they will adjust,
we're a
just like
first
everyone
world
else.
country up here. We have UPS, we got DHL, FedEx, some others.
You got the like Purelator thing, which I don't understand.
Yeah, lots of Purelator. Yeah.
They need new trucks.
Okay. If you think about it, Mint Inc. in Canada is kind of the only LCS you need. They have tons of new products, or we have tons of new products coming out, like the cup, and and I guess Mint Inc. would be your official cup headquarters. You can get your products right there at mintink.ca, for which we have some very interesting news to chat about right now. Holy Hannah, was there a major cup announcement? So 23-24, the cup releases in just a few weeks. And we'll have lots of info and previews in the weeks ahead. We're also going to do a live show on Cup Release Day with Billy Celio. Very much looking forward to that. Love doing live shows. But they as an Upper Deck, posted the sell sheet to their Facebook. And included in that was a nugget, and not just a nugget, a boulder of information. And I believe you guys can agree or disagree that this is a total game changer in the massively right direction, which I'd love to see them continue to innovate and push.
Oh,
their
the
product
Bedard
forward.
thing.
Oh, yes.
Right. I was like, what is he talking about? Yeah. This is crazy. Yeah.
Somebody's listening.
So, if you go to the sell sheet, there's previews of some of the cards, and included in those previews is a picture of the Bedard True RPA out of 99. But it's not just it looks very nice. It looks very cuppy. But the nugget is in the text below it. Yeah. And I'm just going to read it to you right off of the sell sheet. It says, Connor Bedard's rookie auto patch contains game-worn memorabilia worn March 5th, 2024 against Arizona. Bedard had 2 assists in Chicago's 5-2 victory wearing the jersey!
Boom! Drop the mic.
Bravo, Upper Deck.
Massive.
Very exciting. Very.
It's amazing. It's a game changer. Milestone moment. Milestone moment. This is what we've been waiting for. Grand slam.
Yes. Assuming he works out. But that's not their fault at this point. If they didn't keep
Why did they do it on Bedard? Oh, they're so dumb. Why didn't they do it for Celebrini? I can't believe they just did it Bedard. Friggin' Upper Deck. They always screw it up. You know that's coming. You know that's coming. It's so silly.
Hopefully they do it for Celebrini in 2024, the Cup. But this, of course, is 2023, the Cup.
And I'm sure this was not easy to do. I'm sure logistically this was probably a bit of a nightmare, but it is worth everything. Everything. Now you can't stop. You got to do it. It'll be curious to see who they do it for, right? Only maybe the 99s.
Oh,
could you
imagine?
Be
amazing. But then we're gonna have instances where it's like a late bloomer guy, and it's like, oh, his 2 out of 249.
Where's your 249 with no game use jersey? Who
But
cares?
If you really think about it, though, like if you're honest, if the Cup True RPA is going to be the rookie card for that player, and it's a patch auto, it should have game worn. It's kind of it should.
Just let it be a year behind. That's the only set that is a year later. I'm learning you can do You can cure cancer. You're going to piss people off. You're just going to piss a
Mhm.
lot of people off if you cure cancer. There's nothing you can do. So just plow through it and give us this regularly,
Right.
you know, and do it a year later. That is okay. That is okay. The vocal minority, who cares about them? We're surrounded by them and everything. You know, a year later, do it properly, do it the way it should be done, and this will be the cat's tushy of
Sure.
all rookie cards. Yeah.
So here's a question for you guys. Assuming that they take this approach going forward, when the next, it might be Bedard, it might not be, when the next Connor McDavid or Austin Matthews type comes and their rookie true RPA from the cup has game used dated material, what does that do to the perception of the value of McDavid's cup RPA and Austin Matthews cup RPA that are photo shoot material?
I think it'll be fine because
Yeah.
it's in a different
Yeah.
time. There was no
Different
outburst.
time.
There was no outburst from my Brady Kachuk. I don't hold that against them. That means his high gloss
No.
should be worth more. His exclusive should be worth more. But I see what you're saying with the patch that's not game worn. I just don't think it'll increase as much as it normally would, maybe.
But maybe for the right player, this pushes this card to $1 million card at some point. But like to me, now there's the formula where you could see somebody going, and again, you know, people have, what is McDavid's cup RPA sold for almost 300 grand as it is
Mhm.
at one
It-
point.
This is such a game changer, though, Josh and Louis. This
I
is huge. This is a milestone moment. Just like the cup came because of LeBron James, and you know we have Crosby and Ovechkin. They introduced a lot in Upper Deck. Bedard Upper Deck took advantage of an opportunity. They changed their format. They're adding dates to their card now. Well, I hope it's not a one and done, right? I hope it's not. I refuse to believe that. This is what they're going to do now. We just don't know how much.
And I hope it's a sign of things to come. And where I get, I guess, more hopeful about that is if you think about this move and add in, so right before the cup, we're going to have extended series. And a reminder that extended series has 8 2005 Ovechkin Young Guns buybacks that are signed, inserted as chase cards. That, to me, that's a game changer for extended.
It's amazing.
Right. And so all Upper Deck really needs to do is have 2 or 3 of these little kind of, not little, these big special things. Right. So like for the price of, and I'm sure it's expensive, for the price of one game used Bedard jersey, they are able to create the marketing impact that in the promotional impact of being able to promote this card way outweighs the cost of that jersey.
Yeah.
And the other thing that we've heard from Billy, I don't even know if he mentioned this too on your Friday night show, but there's so much going on that it got glossed over a little bit. A lot of times so we're more accustomed to in the cup getting game used material in the second year. Did you catch Billy saying that a lot of those jerseys are actually rookie jerseys from
Yeah, but
because of timing they weren't, and so in a way they're spending the money to get the rookie game used
oh,
material,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
and they're not even putting it in rookie cards.
Yeah, I remember when he said that. So we'll never know. I mean, that doesn't I can't smell
No.
everybody's cards all the time, you know.
But it's a missed opportunity
Yeah.
in that as well. This is awesome.
This is huge.
exactly where, and this is Upper Deck kind of catching you, taking their own spin and doing their own thing, which is good, but sort of embracing a little bit of the Fanatics model of creating really iconic special cards within releases to give people, you know, it's not just about the trillionth 101 chase. If every product had some sort of little, I don't know how to describe this, like a
Little nuggets that are a big deal. but
little
you can
nuggets that
spread-
are a big deal.
that you can spread around for a lot of people to take advantage of. You can promote it really well. I'll even take it. I would love all the cup players, even the 249s, to have maybe at least their first 50 cards have some of these or a select few. And I'll tell you why. What about the fair weather hockey fan that a certain night he met his wife, right? 12 years
Sure.
ago, I met my wife at this hockey game. I don't know much about hockey, but I remember this guy scoring
You
that
don't know
goal.
much about wives.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you're probably not gonna. Oh, I would love to meet my wife at a hockey game. Yeah. Anyways, okay. But this gives a chance for the fair weather collector to maybe reference an evening that's special to them. And they're not everyone has Connor Bedard Celebrini money. Maybe they got like Dylan Larkin money, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah. I'm throwing
Future
some
Wild
shade.
center Dylan Larkin.
Mhm.
Yeah. but a lesser known player, right? A player that
Yeah.
doesn't have a bright future, something like that. Like Dylan.
Well,
Sorry, Jeff. I'm saying that on
no,
purpose.
you live right next to the
Yeah, it's
Ottawa
nice.
Arena. What if Jake Sanderson? What if, like you said, almost like an inscribed Future Watch? What if the first 50 copies that it included a game worn patch at a game you were at?
Yeah, that's what I'm a reference to my personal experience. It doesn't have to be an amazing player, but just that connection, right? Oh, it'd be great. What if they got into a fight and there's a little bit of blood on there? Oh my god, it'd be great. I'm sure the NHLPA wouldn't allow that because blood's
No, they
bad,
probably wouldn't.
right? Blood's bad.
I'm just so excited. I'm very, very
Mhm.
happy. I think this is
Look how excited we are to talk about something we'll never own.
Right.
yeah.
Maybe one day.
I think it juices up the Bedard prices as much as they've come down. I think people will go pretty hard for, especially the 97 out of 99.
And shout out to the distributors in Canada for not bending the
98.
whole country over
Mm.
for the prices.
Yeah.
Thank you for keeping them, I guess, over $1,000. But like, you know, it's like when they raise gas prices and then they bring it down 20% and everyone's quiet and happy.
Mhm.
Like we can't be that obtuse. Come on. Anyway.
Why did I just brain fart on Bedard? His number's 98, right?
Yeah.
I said 97. Sorry. Okay.
Yep. Well, it's going in the right direction here. But I want to jump
Close.
back to what you were saying about pricing, though. This is what, if you can do it, I think you should put this information on there. You know, you don't have to go as far saying you had 2 assists and all that stuff, but game worn memorabilia worn on March 5th, 2024 against Arizona. It could stop there. That's what I'd like to see more of, that, but I don't think it's going to inflate the price.
Oh, I do.
Really?
Oh, I do.
Why?
Yeah.
I do. Yeah.
Because provenance is so important, right? It gives you, even if you weren't there, it makes it feel more real in the sense that, and especially where we become so numb to the authenticity of, I don't want to say authenticity.
I'd say ambiguity of the
the ambiguity of, it's like, was worn 14 seconds in a photo shoot. Oh, I'll pay $200,000 for that RPA. Right?
No.
makes it more human. It's just puts a
Yeah.
human element to it. For me, anyways. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not for you.
Okay.
Losing
But
it, guy.
If I'm pushing strategy at Upper Deck, I'm challenging the team and I'm saying this is the beginning.
Yes.
What else can we do? How else can we get creative and keep pushing the envelope forward? Because I think if you had 3 or 4 or 2 or 3, whatever the number is, kind of unique cards like this in a cup product, then I think you can charge $1,200 a tin if it costs more money to do this stuff, and people would pay it all day long because now you have the huge upside of these very unique special chase cards.
What if we get a cup card of Bedard and he scores the overtime winner that gets the Chicago Blackhawks to the playoffs? That card's going to be worth something.
Because
right?
that patch is in it.
Yeah, because that patch is in it. I want to be the guy at the game being like, Connor, high five. The people are going to be so happy. Like to get the, like there's such a rich living moment of history being the guy who gets the jersey. I hope he's having a good time and it's not some suit who's just going to work.
Let me think on it, but right now I'm just
it's
I'm
new
not
information. Absorb.
Just right now out of the gate. Maybe I'm the minority. I'm not paying more for it telling me it was on there. I think they should do that in the cup, especially in the cup. That's cool. It's your flagship. Well, I can't use that word, I guess, because it's not the flagship, but it's the top dog, and that's cool to have on there, but I'm not paying more because it says it. I want it to just say it, and that's the way it should be. But kudos for doing it.
at bare minimum, maybe it'll help maintain the heavy pricing that cup cards have, right? If they were starting to dip a little bit, it'll probably keep it balanced, if not more, kind of thing.
Well, okay, now in the world of game worn, does it matter to you if it's worn in the preseason versus the regular season?
No.
Because having the date on there, if that was a distinction that was important to you, that would
Mhm.
help clarify that.
You know what?
I just don't think that you, Louis. I don't. You're right. I don't know how much more a card's worth by having March 5th, 2024, but it certainly doesn't make the card worth less.
Nope, not saying that.
I'll say this: if a card, I need to be honest with my ego. If this is 3 years from now, and some cup cards have preseason games, regular season games, and playoff games, and I have 3 Jake Sanderson exhibition games, cup cards, and the guy down the street has 1 playoff game Jake Sanderson card, my ego is hurt. I want the playoff game worn jersey. You know, that's where my head would probably go. It's like, well, why does he get the playoff game used jersey and I get stupid preseason? You know,
Yeah.
so
And
maybe I'll feel like that. But I answered to you, no, it doesn't bother me. But I think it. I think it will.
and maybe I don't look at it the same way you guys do because a lot of the F1 cards I collect, they are most of them have dates on them. Like if it was driver of the day and it's a refractor of
Sure.
something, you know, of this race on this date, or Hamilton won the whatever trophy at Imola on this date, you know, and it's him holding the trophy, you know. So I see that stuff all the time. So I'm glad they're getting into it, but I don't see that price reflected like in F1 cards, if you will.
Mhm.
What do
So,
they do for F1 patch cards? They put like a broken blinker in or something?
no, they usually don't use pieces of the car, but
Oh,
they'll use
fingernail if he bites it off while he's driving.
they'll use gloves. They'll have
Oh,
some
okay, that's cool.
gloves
Sunglasses,
and
maybe.
part of the uni, you know, with like the logo stitched, you know, they'll cut that out and
Do
There's
drivers
a
wear
million
jock?
patches.
mhm.
Do they wear jock straps? Probably not. Eh?
No,
An
What?
odd question.
How is it odd? I have to wear a jock strap in baseball.
you
Yeah, but
have to.
No, but you should. You don't want to ball in the nuts, man. That's crazy. Yeah,
Okay.
shatter.
that's the
All right.
Well,
second time now he's asked for jock straps in a
hey,
car.
you've got a jockstrap fetish, I think.
Yeah, maybe
Let's,
I do.
we'll dig into that a little bit.
Oh, great.
Okay,
I can't
but
wait for the
let's take this
song.
let's get back on task
Ugh.
here, boys. Let's take this even a step further. Let's say Gavin McKenna in a few years breaks the rookie scoring record, which will never happen because Timu scored 1,000,000 goals. But let's just say hypothetically, and they happen to get the jersey from he scores his 74th goal,
They're not cutting
and
that up, man.
and that jersey gets into a cup RPA. Now I would have to think that would like
Hmm.
have people going bananas.
Yeah,
right?
that would be
Really?
astronomical.
I don't.
Oh,
It's so
Louis, are you
hard.
serious?
I'm not sitting there going, "Oh my god, I got a piece of the jersey from Gavin McKenna when he set the record for." Really?
Yeah, but you also buy F1 cards, dude. And I don't understand that. I got that.
But it's almost like you're not understanding. Like, let's take cards out of it. When game used jerseys go up for sale, the game that Michael Jordan won the NBA championship in goes for
Mhm.
50x what the preseason game he played in 1989.
Sure, and that jersey's also in one piece. Give me the
Yeah.
whole jersey, not
I,
just a piece of it. I don't want just a piece of it.
Well, but
I mean, I
that's
want a
not.
piece of it, but you know,
You're just saying that, and I'm not respecting your opinion, but you're saying that doesn't matter, and that's just got me. I'm trying to understand where you're coming from on that because I think it really matters in a huge way.
okay.
But again, but we're all
I
allowed
guess
to.
yeah, no, I don't guess I don't get that excited for it. If they got Ovi's goal-breaking jersey that he wore and did the Superman on the ice with and started putting
Yeah,
that in cards. I don't know.
you wouldn't look at that any different than a normal OV patch auto with some ambiguous game worn material.
Hmm. I don't know. Let me chew on it.
Okay. All right. Well, again, kudos Upper Deck. We're gonna move on and talk about the release calendar a little bit. We did get an update from Upper Deck as far
Oh
as
my
what's
God, so much
upcoming.
coming. Yeah.
Oh, so much coming, dude. So we alluded to with the O-Pee-Chase card extended comes out on May 29th, which is a Thursday. That's one note I wanted to make on that. I think they pushed it a day from their normal Wednesday release date because we have Memorial Day that week here in the United States. Is there something in Canada similar to Memorial Day or
Victoria
no?
Day. We have Victoria Day today.
Yeah, but
Oh.
theirs is a week before and on the
It's a holiday today in Canada.
Okay. And do people get off tomorrow work then?
People are off work today.
Oh, today. I got you. I got you. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Today, Monday.
Mhm.
is Victoria
Today,
Day.
Monday.
Then the cup comes out 6 days later. That's crazy. On June 4th. A week after that, we have 24-25 ice. Then this World of Sport Volume 1 new product. I haven't. Looks like another probably like Metal Universe Champions, a multi-sport product. I haven't looked into it much, but that comes out June 18th. Same day as 2024 Parker's Champions. And then the new set, it looks like 2 weeks later, we have O-Pee-Chee Platinum.
Oh, I can't
2024-25.
wait. Last year was
Mhm.
so nice, man. Last year was just great. And people didn't talk about it much. So I think we need a few years of great O-Pee-Chee Platinum. Make O-Pee-Chee Platinum great again.
A lot of products we like in the next
Mhm.
month and a half, right?
Well, I'm glad I'm back at work.
Yeah,
Need
no
some
shit.
money.
All right.
Mhm.
Mailbag time, Phil. You ready?
Oh yeah, me. I like doing this now. Okay.
Thank God.
Gongshow Mailbag time. All right, good listener, listen up. We're gonna get some questions asked, and we're gonna answer them. All right, first question from Instagram, Rygar 9402. Gents, with Fanatics owning Tops and their drive to make serious strides in the hobby market, might we see them back making hockey cards soon? Tops, that is. Louis.
I go back and forth with this in my head. Yes, because there's sets that I really like that they made in the past that I'd like to see come back in some form. But on the other hand, I like Upper Deck and I like what they're doing, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know, 50-50.
There you go. I think I'm similar to you, Louis. I'm yes and no. I'm more so conflicted. I'm very loyal to Upper Deck. Right from my childhood. I there's no comparison with any other company I'm remotely interested in. I do love Tops. I do love certain Tops products. And I'm a firm believer in competition gives us the best product. But I'm gonna stick with my Upper Deck until something changes. Whether Tops is gonna make a run for it, I'm not educated enough in business to know even if they can. That's more of a Josh question. So we'll hand it over to Josh.
Here's what I would love to see. I'll start with what I don't want to see. I don't want to see Upper Deck lose the ability to make licensed hockey cards.
Right.
I would like, and this can only happen. What everyone needs to understand is that this is a decision that's ultimately made by the NHL and NHLPA. Is they would, in my mind, I would love to see them decide not to do exclusive and to allow competition because I think that makes everyone better, and I think Upper Deck would do well in that environment. So like what instead of maybe they do 26, 28 sets a year, what if it is Upper Deck and Tops share licensing, and the NHL allows each to make your best 18 sets in a year, and kind of really forces them to put out great products and compete with each other I think that's where the collector really wins.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Upper Deck wouldn't like that very much because it's much more comfortable to have the exclusive, but it really comes down to whether the NHL or NHLPA would see the value in that. And they probably it's much easier from their perspective to have one partner too. Because then you're not having to have the same conversation twice every time.
All right, good answer, boys. Next question. Discord, Vintage Mark. Neither McDavid nor Matthews have won the Stanley Cup. but McDavid has led his team to the finals, and he's going strong this year. And he also was a key player in Team Canada's win over Matthews and Team USA in the Four Nations tournament. Do you think Matthews' continued lack of success will impact his card values? I'll go first. Absolutely. If they didn't win yesterday, so I don't know, right? It's Monday. I don't know if they won yesterday. I didn't check. If they didn't win yesterday and Matthews didn't play well, I'm sorry, but I think the time is up on that. No matter what society is doing, I know we celebrate mediocrity, but history remembers champions and their pursuit of it. So no cup, forget it. No playoff performance in the playoffs, even more so, forget it. I think people will get sick and tired of it. And you can only be so much of a nice guy to a certain point. I think his cards, I don't know about tanking, but his cards will definitely drop in value. And I'm not saying that from despising the blue team. I'm just giving you my honest opinion on that. Louis?
I'm going to assume that they would impact his card values.
Joshy Poo?
If you're going to hold McDavid or Draisaitl or whomever to that standard, that championship standard, then you'd have to hold Austin Matthews to it too.
Yep.
Good answer, boys. Discord, JT Hockey. I was looking at the Rangers checklist for 2024-25 extended on hockeychecklist.com, and they have two 23-24 acetate Young Guns updates. Am I crazy, or is this the first time non-autos are included in a set as updates? Not sure if you guys are familiar with the site since it's pretty new, but hockeychecklist.com is now my go-to site for hockey checklists. I'll go first. The person who one of the main people who updates hockeychecklist.com, that website you're using, they probably screwed up. That's my best answer.
Oh, yeah. Probably a knucklehead.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Josh, you should probably answer that.
Well, there has been some, like, where are the acetates conversations from 23-24 extended. And we've been asked that. And we did get a little bit of insight with the 24-25 checklist that is up on hockeychecklist.com. In that all of the Young Guns from extended last year, their acetates were not in that product. So it's the Logan Cooley Young Guns acetate, because he was a extended series Young Guns, and at all, and all the other players, those acetates are updates. As far as non-auto updates, yeah, you're probably right. I'm sure I'm guessing it's happened before, but I'm sure it's pretty infrequent.
All right. Here we go. Next question from Discord, Blade Visionary. I used to collect paper tickets that would be tied to hockey games that I would attend or other games where something significant happened at that game. But with the advent of electronic tickets, it doesn't seem as personable or interesting when you have a digital screenshot of your entry ticket. What are your thoughts on the NHL authorizing date-stamped hockey cards for each NHL game that are only sold at each game? Can be a limited edition of 100 that is a nice memento and reminder of a game you attended. Just imagine owning an April 6th, 2025 Caps versus Islanders game card. Yeah, man, I think it's very unfortunate everything has gone digital. I'm a huge fan of analog. I'm a huge fan of tangible products. I'm pretty sure everyone listening is as well, because we all like to hold things and look at them and read them. So I agree. I think it's an unfortunate part of technology. So, Louis?
I don't know. Yeah, if they could do it, that'd be sweet. Now, I can't remember if they only did it for the first. Friend of mine, his dad in his office has framed. They used to hand out all of your. Well, Josh, you might be able to answer this. They used to hand you at the beginning of the year all your wild season hockey tickets, like
the
physical
binder.
tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do they still do that? I don't know.
No, they're all on the phone.
So, okay, so everything's digital now. They don't still even just give you those as a season ticket holder. All right. I don't know. I wish they still did. I got a bunch of old North Stars and Stars.
I like the card
ticket
idea.
stubs. Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of a good idea. So, good on you, Blade Visionary. I think there's something there to workshop, and I'm sure Billy will get right on.
Workshop. Look at you.
Right.
Look at you. Let's have a high five, team member. Okay, let's go.
Remember, there's no I in team, but there's a me.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's go. Next question. Instagram. Secure shells. I stole this idea from a DuckTale episode. Would it be ethical to purchase all numbered cards from a specific player and set? For example, Future Watch Auto out of 999 and destroy all of them but one. I'll go first. Ethically, probably not a good idea. Is it super fun and awesome? Hell yes, brother. If I had FU money, I would do some pretty crazy things with the hobby. You would all love and hate me at the same time. So I think it's a great idea if you can do it. I'm pretty close to getting all Mark My Thoughts Cup RPAs, so I'm on there. But no one cares about that. Louis?
I don't even know what to think about this.
Okay, Josh.
Get them all, and destroy them all, but one.
Yeah, you control the market. You 101.
Oh my god!
I love
think
it.
if you burned all the Shane Pinto Young Guns but one, you'd have basically the gold outburst Shane Pinto. You would own them all.
Just get my gold crayon and make type
I don't
draw it
even
in.
think
Yeah,
it's
that'll be fun.
unethical necessarily. You've bought it. It's your possession. If you,
know
want
what
to
he
destroy
means.
it,
Okay, semantics with the word ethical. You know what he means. Is he being a jerk? Is he a bit of a jerk for doing it? He's a bit of a jerk. I would do it, and I know I would be a bit of a jerk. That's okay.
I think it'd be kind of a fun, like if you're an economics nerd, because I'm not sure that you would actually get your value back in that scenario. So let's say that you had 1,000 Future Watch Autos that are worth $100 each. So that's what, $100,000 in value. So if you destroyed all of them, is it worth $100,000? Probably not. So it'd be really ridiculously dumb financial.
Still fun. Next question. Tolson, our forever faithful, always asks a question every week. Tolson. Do you guys foresee any downstream issues with singles availability of products like metal? Breakers seem to be avoiding multi-pack products, opting for a higher profile, higher perceived ceiling products. Punctuation matters. I agree. I don't know. I do have a conspiracy brain, but I couldn't wrap my head around this one. I don't have a good answer, so I'm not going to make one up. Josh,
I think just simply asking without breakers as an example, not breaking metal, is there going to be a shortage of singles out there for whoever? I doubt it. I don't think there's ever been a singles issue except for
Just
Phil.
might come out slower.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? They will get sold at a show. Things do drop in, but like I'm still waiting for a 2018-19 certain few cup cards. There's lots of cup tins out there of 2018, 2019. The cards I want are probably in them, right? I mean, they will come out, but it's not going to be tomorrow. It's probably in 5 years, 10 years, Takes a while.
When is it a good thing that we expect all the biggest cards to be unearthed right away? Maybe it's fun if it's a year down the, like it is kind of fun. The idea that the Bedard Gold Outburst has not publicly surfaced to this point.
Good
and I think
words there, yeah.
I think the other aspect though he's asking about is just sort of, and it makes sense that, listen, if you're a breaker and your choice is to break flagship versus ultimate, flagship is way more work for a lot less money.
Yeah.
And a lot less margins, right? You have 12 packs and 36 hits to sort versus a 4-card box of ultimate. It's just, you can be so much faster. It's like, Phil, you talk about the restaurant business all the time. What's the key to restaurants making money is turning tables.
Flip those tables, baby, and make them feel appreciated while they're there.
Sure.
But get them out.
So yeah, I mean, it probably does affect, you're going to get maybe more ultimate opened in a shorter window than you would like a flagship.
There you go. Next question. Discord, Greg Davis. Hello, men. Regarding
where?
Jeez.
Hey, men. Question regarding the checklist site. When it's fully populated, will it be able to search a player to get all the cards listed? And at some point, will you add regional card releases? Love it so far. Oh my God, Phil is so handsome. Thank you, Greg.
Mhm.
Louis?
Ask Josh.
Okay. Eventually, yeah, that's the idea. But you have to have all the card. You have to have
Right.
every set on
Yeah,
there first
for sure,
because
Greg. For sure.
to have some sort of universal player search. Because if you didn't have every set, then the information would be incomplete, and so
Mhm.
that's a prerequisite to getting that done. So it'll be a while.
All right. Captain has spoken. Next question. Instagram. Love the pod. You guys rule. I wonder what influences each of your selection processes for grading submissions and also how you decide whether or not to acquire an already graded card. Thanks, fellas, and keep up the great work. I'll go first. Thank you very much for the compliment. And to answer your question, I will only grade with PSA, and I will only do that if I have plans to sell the card. There's no other reason I would ever grade my card. I trust my opinion and my friends' opinions than anybody that works at a grading company. No matter how many years they've been doing it, I value my opinion much more than a grader's.
Mhm.
Louis?
If I was going to, if I was going to grade a card for resale, obviously I'd go with PSA because I get the big return there. But I usually don't acquire graded cards. Just a personal preference thing. Did I answer that question right?
Answered. Josh?
Sure. Like you, if I'm looking to max value or resell, I go PSA all the way.
All the way.
Or for PC stuff, I would consider tag though, because I do like the tag slabs.
Oh, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm actually cracking a tag 10 soon.
Are you?
Yeah, my golden treasures, Brady Kachuk. Yeah, that's right, Jeremy. I'm cracking it. I want because I can't stand it. It's I have the whole O-Pee-Chee. Well, I will when you guys are done playing with
Rainbow.
my cards, you mules. Yeah, these two guys playing with my ComC cards yesterday. Josh is sending me pictures of my own cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your Sleeping Beauty cards.
Yeah.
They're my Disney cards, and you stay away from my Disney cards.
It's weird. It's weird.
It's not weird. What's your
it is
favorite
weird.
Disney movie? It's probably Little Mermaid. Yeah, it's the only one that doesn't. No, you know what? You can't watch Little Mermaid because Ursula at the end probably scares you.
It's
And
scary.
you would soil yourself. Okay,
Mhm.
next question. From Facebook, Robert Kenny. How far in advance are the checklists made? As a Dylan Gunther collector, it's been unfortunate not seeing him get into many 24-25 sets, while players like Mateus Michelli and Jason Zucker get into base sets for Arizona, Utah. Yeah, that would be super annoying. Gunther he's good, man. So I don't have an answer for you, but I'm sure Josh does.
They're made pretty far in advance because Upper Deck needs a very long lead time.
Mhm.
And so because they're due so far in advance, you lose the ability to react to roster changes and trades and free agent signings in a lot of cases. And there's a trail, it trails. So yeah, that is unfortunate.
Next question, Alex Muse. Why doesn't Upper Deck do TV commercials to get people more interested in hockey cards instead of seeing the same sports gambling commercials, since they are in sort of the same category of gambling? I guess there is more risk of buying a hobby box. Ooh, that's funny. I'll go first. I agree, Alex. I think funny, well-produced commercials would be probably one of the best, greatest things for our hobby if Upper Deck could get behind. I also think that would, I don't know how that works, but I'd imagine that's like really expensive. And maybe you could advertise on a billboard 1,000 times before making one commercial. I don't know.
Right.
Sure. Boys,
I agree with you.
Josh?
It's a huge investment. You have to be a very big company to play in that game. And Upper Deck's privately held, so we don't know how big of a company they are. But the sense is they're not a $1 billion corporation.
They're not
like
Fanatics.
Fanatics.
No.
And it's like that game it's like frequency and reach without getting too marketing speaky here. And so you can't just do one commercial. You have to spend a lot of money to produce very creative and fun commercials and then have the dough to air them constantly for years.
So you don't buy the Corvette if you can't afford the oil changes, kind of thing?
Yeah, it's just like for instance, if you're a small business owner, a lot of times some local poor marketing agency will try to sell you on like, oh, for $20,000, we'll send a postcard to every resident in your town.
I get that all the time. They want me to put my company on a grocery store boxes,
and that can work if you do it once a week for 3 years. It doesn't work once, right? So you have to commit to 156 of those $20,000 spends for that ultimately be effective, and that automatically prices out a lot of companies, and TV is a whole other level up from that.
All right. Next question. Secure Shell. Oh no, Kaz Schiller. Sorry. I love dark matter designs too, but there's nearly none with good poses. Lots of the guys I pick up have mediocre at best photos. What do y'all think? Perhaps I'm being too critical. I'm a photo video pro, so it kind of irks me maybe more than others. No, it bothers me too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bothers me too. Good eye, Kaz. I don't know specifically about the dark matter ones, but I'd like to get in that photo room at Upper Deck and ask why. And I'm sure they have good reasons. And I'm just hooting and hollering and I don't know them. But yes, I'd like some of the photos to be better. I agree. I think we can all agree on that one.
Yep.
Yes.
Next question, Instagram, Secure Shell. Phil, what NHL team city has the hottest babes? Well, my answer might not be the best. I kind of love them all, brother. I love all shapes and sizes. I'll break it down a little bit. Montreal has the best variety by far. Toronto is the best city also by far. If I don't feel like talking a lot and having in-depth conversation, you have a variety of levels of intelligence there. And they all seem to go to the gym. So it's a win-win. Ottawa, forget it. I've had it all. Boring and cookie cutter. Had great luck in Alberta as a young man. Go Calgary. Beautiful city. Love them all. Never been to Vancouver. And I've never been to the East Coast. So that's my best answer.
I think it's weird that he picked you to answer this, considering you've had the least success with women of all of us. So,
didn't you both marry your high school sweethearts?
Nope.
Pretty close.
Nope.
nope.
All right.
I dated a girl for 8 years before I married
I'll
my
go
wife.
toe to toe with both of you any day, and I have references.
For what?
Exactly. There we go. Okay, next question.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Duke Bruiserk. Duke Berserk. Okay, Instagram. Hey boys. Hey. Sitting here in Saskatchewan. Sitting here in Saskatchewan and thinking the hobby needs some awards like the NHL has. For example, product is $100 to $200 best card. Gold glitter bomb, $200 to $3. Seismic gold. Most improved product, SPX. Best insert, liquid gold, as some would say. Not all. Keep up the great work. Go Oilers. It's hard to argue. Okay, so I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm just going to say it. Do you think I should say it or no? Can you read what I wrote? Okay, I will say it. I got a little package. Funny you say this, Duke Brewer. I can't say it again. I recently just purchased Hockey Cards HOF.com, Hockey Cards Hall of Fame.com, because I know there's a Baseball Cards Hall of Fame. So this is totally happening. Probably not this summer. Probably like my little winter project. So much for secrecy. Yeah. But that's my website. And I want to do exactly what you're saying with the gold glitter bomb, like insert of the year. And we can all vote on it, right? If you like, we'll make an eBay login or something, but we can all vote on it and it'll be the Hockey Card Hall of Fame and it'll be super fun. And I bought the domain, so you can't buy it. That's it.
What are the odds when you purchased Hockey Cards Hall of Fame, HOF.com, that you spelled it right?
I spelled it right. I learned my lesson with Resurrection.
Okay.
What? HOF, Hall of Fame. Yeah.
That's not the part I was worried about, but okay.
Hockey Cards. Oh my God. I didn't. Oh my God. Well, I'll check when we're done. Oh my God, I probably did it too. Oh, well, whatever. It's like $18. Okay, whatever. I'll check. Next question. Rick Mulligan.
Hey, boy.
Saved by the Rick. I have a question for the show. I think you guys would have a fun debate with it. Have you ever felt like you purchased one player's card what is this? Have you ever felt like you purchased one player's card so much that you have personally affected that player's market? Okay. I've purchased quite a few Future Watch autos of a player, and I feel like I'm driving up the prices of his Future Watches. No, I won't say who. I don't want to affect the market more. even if I am. Thoughts? Love the show. I'll go first. Yes, Brady Kachuk. And yeah, not the Pintos Young Guns. There's thousands of Young Guns, but my Brady Kachuk, I have like 19 RPAs, cup RPAs.
If you haven't, nobody has. But I think though what's also important to know in this is that when you, like you as in Phil, raise the market for a player, you kind of also raise the market on yourself, because now
I know.
Any subsequent one you want to,
well, like the
sure,
acetate,
your comps are used against you, right?
The last 2 acetate, Brady Kachuk Young Gun acetates, I've had to pay $1,000. Yeah, I'm at 14 or 15 now.
Jeez,
it's a lot, eh? It's good though. Come on, that's impressive. That's pretty impressive. All right, next question.
Why is this question even in here?
Find out who has the 30910 SP game used Marks of a Nation USA at David Backus cards my wife sold while I peed 10 years ago. Okay. Hasselhoff's mom sold my dog while I was at work. Is that like what he's talking about?
what was the dog's name?
Cole.
You named your dog the same name as your kid?
Yeah. Cole didn't have a name
What?
for 4 days. Yeah. His name was Owen when he was born. Then there was 4 babies that all had Owen. So we scrapped that. Our parents were very upset. My mother and her mother were very upset.
Oh.
He didn't have a name for 4 days. We brought him home on the 5th day. He had a weird murmur, so we kept him a couple of days extra. And she kept saying Declan, and I kept saying Hercules. She'd say Declan, and I'm like, no, for obvious reasons. No, not that Declan's not a great name, but I was a mean boy in elementary school. Phil, you could figure that out. So she said, fine, let's call him Cole. And I said yes immediately. Yeah.
When did the Cole the dog come though?
I got Cole the dog when I was 22. Yeah, when I got back
so
from
Cole the
Alberta.
dog came before Cole the child.
Yeah. She got rid of
you
Cole.
named your kid after your dog.
Yeah, she got rid of my dog within the year she got pregnant.
Oh.
He hates that story, by the way. Hasselhoff does not like that story. Yeah.
What did you say when she got? So you just came home from work and the dog was gone?
Yeah, it wasn't a good scene. If I need therapy, it's for that. I have trauma from that. No, I should have. Yeah,
did you like the dog? Was it a good dog?
I love my dog. He was the best dog. I trained him. He didn't like her. That's the problem. Yeah, I should have listened to my dog. Eh? Sorry, Hasselhoff. I love your mama. We're cool now. All right, next question. Or should we answer this guy's question? I think he's just
did.
He's just venting. Okay. Instagram, real lacking. Real laking. What's your personal Grail card, and do you have it yet? I'll go first. 66 Bobby Orr or the 2015 McDavid employee exclusive O-Pee-Chee Platinum. Yeah. Those are my two on the currently. They'll probably change within a year or two.
I don't. Do you mean the employee exclusive auto?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, not the metal. It's only an auto. Yeah.
Yes. I think I'm kind of like Louis, because we talked about this question a little bit before we recorded. I don't really think in that terms very often, but I did see let me answer it this way. Not too long ago, there was a 2012 Fleer Retro Wayne Gretzky Essential Credentials Now, which is out of 9, so very rare, up on one of the big auction companies. And that's the first time that I've ever done sort of the mental math on like a fund your cards kind of program. Like, would it be worth selling everything to get this card? And so maybe that would make it sort of my Grail card. I mean, I didn't do it, of course, but that's a card I would probably be a realistic Grail for me. Like a $20,000 card.
Sure. My answer for what I think is real lacking name.
Oh, I get it now.
Oh.
I don't have my personal Grail card yet because I honestly don't know what it is. I haven't found one yet that I can't live without.
Keep searching.
I will. I'm trying.
Fill that void, Louis. Fill that void.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question. Instagram. Harvey, 44. Phil, you were born in Ottawa and are a Sens fan. I am, and I was. No, I was not. I was born in Montreal.
Ooh.
I was born in Toronto and am a Leafs fan. if you were born in Toronto, do you think you'd be a Leafs fan? Be honest. I will be very honest. Looks like we have an anthropologist in our midst. I'm kidding, Harvey. Well, you might be. I don't know. But I cannot lie. If I was born and raised in Toronto, I would be a diehard Leafs fan, and that franchise would be very happy and lucky to have me. I am ferocious in my fanaticism. I was also born in Montreal, and I was a Montreal fan till I was 11, until 92, 93, Ottawa's inaugural season. But I've lived in Ottawa for quite a few years until then, representing Montreal. But I chose at 11 years old to be a Sens fan, and I have been ever since. So, yes, I'd be a Leafs fan. Probably geography, right?
Good job,
Sure.
Phil.
Yeah. You boys? What do you think? Nature versus nurture?
Well, I'm sure I'd be a fan of wherever I was living, to be honest with you.
Yeah. All right. Personal
Personal
pickup.
pickups.
It's your turn, Josh. You take over.
Bill, what do you got?
Nothing.
Nothing. Louis, we're at you. Personal pickups.
For me, first card, 2023-24 O-Pee-Chee Platinum NHL Shield Krill Kaprizov. I got lucky on Slab Sharks Thursday night.
Yeah, great price.
Yeah, I was actually,
Nailed it.
yeah. Good. And then second one was a pull out of Metal
Oh, nice.
the other day, 24-25 Metal Universe, PMG Green out of 10, Chris Letang.
You hit
Yep.
this? Holy crap.
Yeah, I'm
Very
gonna, for fun, I'm gonna send it into Slab Sharks, and I figured I would just touch on the form and everything a little bit, just so it makes sense, and it would also make all your guys' lives easier in the US sending them. So the Slab Sharks consignment form, we'll put a link to it if Josh didn't already in the show description, because with you going to that link, if you haven't done it before, and put all your information in, everything on the form you need to really put in will automatically populate for you, and you don't have to put stuff in. So it'll put in Hockey Cards Gongshow, your customer ID, the 45, that's us, your name, your email, your phone number, and the date.
Fill proof.
All that,
Yep.
it's done and over with. The only thing after that you got to do is put how many cards, and then additional notes if you want what they are, if they're slabbed or any of that jazz. And then, I mean, it's super easy, and then just send it on its way. Check your PayPal friends and family here to get paid out. And if that email there is not the same as the one above, make sure it is. I know there's a lot of arrows going on there, but if you go to that sign up link in the description and just register yourself, you won't have to fill anything in but that center section.
Every time. Right. So it makes it such a breeze to fill out every time. So there's a benefit of taking a couple minutes to sign up under our profile.
Yep. You do it once and you're done. So anytime you want to send something, you log in and go to submit cards, and that form comes up and all that stuff's already auto-populated. You can type in what you're sending or just print it off and write what you're sending in and sign it, and you're good.
So you hit a green PMG, which is crazy because that's like may never hit a green PMG in a box.
I didn't put you
Right.
for buying a box of metal, Louis. I'm surprised. Good for you, man. Look what you hit. That's wicked.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then now you're feeding it to the Sharks. Huh,
Yep. Why not?
there you go.
Green chum.
Yeah.
Green chum.
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't see who the player was at first, and I kind of got a little, that feeling in your gut. And I didn't say anything to Josh. I kind of looked up at him, but he was looking at something else, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go with this. And yeah, Chris Letang.
Yeah, it could one of those players though. Could be worse, could be better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Okay, I had 2 pickups.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just
First
hold them up,
one-
Josh? Just hold them up. Yeah, exactly. No
First one's a-
Crosby to tease me with.
23-24 Metal Universe Kirill Kaprizov Noise Boys. Got it on Comsy
Nice, boys.
from E-Pack. These are pretty tough cards, 1 in 1,200 pack odds. There's 20 players on the checklist, so to hit a Kaprizov, I'd have to open 24,000 packs on average. And that's like 1 in 100 cases too. So yeah, any Noise Boys is a 1 in 5 cases. Maybe this is a math show. I don't know.
So do you want to know why I don't like Noise Boys? Because Noise Boys to me is basketball culture. This is a basketball card. I don't find hockey players are like noisy boys. You know, they're not. We have our own culture.
I don't know.
Well, because I'm a former hockey player, not a successful one, but I'm born and raised in Canada.
Barely.
And
okay, Leafs fan. Sure. Then I picked up another card from 23-24 Metal, a Alexander Ovechkin Martin site.
Yeah, wicked.
This was a new insert last year, 1 in 160 pack odds, but there's 50 players on the checklist. So any one individual player, that's 1 in 8,000 packs. And have not seen one of these in hand. I got it really cheap, like $38, something like that.
Whoa,
$35.
good score, man. Nice.
Yeah, so I'm very excited to see how refracting it is in person.
Oh, it looks like it's going to refract good.
Oh, yeah, it'll be good.
All right. If you like the episode, please leave a rating, review on Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast app you listen to us on. If you love the show, you want to support with us, you want to join us and the Legion of Lonely Men on the Hockey Cards Gongshow Discord server, please consider a $5 a month donation. Join our $2.99 support level tier on Patreon. Link is in the show description in both the YouTube and the podcast apps and our Instagram, TikTok profile, and our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com. Click on the Become a Patron link or go to Patreon directly, patreon.com, and search for us, Hockey Cards Gong Show. We're on social media. Throw us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. And boys, the Hockey Cards Gong Show podcast is a production of Dollarbox Ventures, LLC. Cannot wait to see you back on Thursday. Have an awesome start to your week. Happy hunting. Send those cards in. U.S. folks, let's get them in the Slapsharks auction. Baba Louie, you know what to do.
Bye.
Yo, it's the Gong Show. We're dropping the facts. Hockey cards on fire. No holding us back. Josh looking sharp, the face of the scene. Feeling pork chop pants, rocking it clean. Baba Louie in the booth, he's the man with the plan. The best producer in all the land. Gong Show Nation, let's hit the flow. It's the Hockey Cards Gong Show. Let's go, let's go. Wanna say the minute show.
You better believe it is.